This is Our Paranormal Podcast because this is our paranormal community, and we want to support you here on RU Media Network. We are proud to be sponsored by the Haunted Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. Here are your hosts, Bryan Mersol and Shawn Gilmore.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Our Paranormal Podcast. Man, we got a party today. Oh, man. How are you doing today, Bryan?
Good. How are you, Shawn? Real good.
Oh, man, I'm doing good. I'm a little bit tired. It's a crazy week. I have 3 kids and they all play sports. Like literally Saturdays are sports ball day. And my son actually made it to All-Star game, which I don't know if I'm really allowed to say that, but I'm announcing it. So
no, you should be proud. You should announce it.
I know.
Awesome.
But the thing is, they're like with the league, like they don't really announce it to everybody until it's like, I don't know, they're all like hush hush about it. But it's like whatever, dude.
Right.
So it's I don't know. And then next week, my kids are going away for camp. So next week's gonna be nice, relaxing week. So, but it's crazy getting them ready. I'm like super excited for them. So I went to overnight camp for a month, and they're going for just a week. So I'm excited for them to experience that. But so it's just super crazy for me at home. I had an awesome Father's Day though. You know how I if anyone watches the show, we talk about this long gone doll that is going to be auctioned off at the ghost hunt for Bryan in August, right? Everyone, make sure to get your tickets real quick. Here, let me go ahead and put that ticker on there real quick. Go to the eventb.com, go hunt for Bryan. Okay, so here, look what I got. Uh-oh. My trolleys fell. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
That's creepy.
That's so cool.
Oh, dude. Terry Long from Long Gone Dolls designs these dolls. And here's the ticket to prove it. Dude, the detail on this thing is insane. Just like on the hand. It's got a hat. The hat can come off. But look at those eyes, dude. Look at those eyes.
Man. That's awesome.
That is great.
Dude. Best Father's Day present. Right there. So there's that. Another thing I got for Father's Day. Dictionary Demons.
Cool.
By Michelle Belanger. So
nice.
Dude,
hey, Jeremy.
My family loves me. They know what I like. So I'm excited. Other than that, and now we get to talk about our investigation that we did at the Gill House after we did, it's the same weekend as the Parapsychon at OSR. So there's lots to talk about, guys. Bryan, what have you been up to?
It's just a wild world.
It's a wild world? What is that? What have you been up to?
It's work at 100 miles an hour and, so many things to catch up on. So, but I really am excited to be here today to talk about the Gill House with you guys. I wasn't able to go, but I'm so excited to see all the different experiences because not a lot of people might know everyone's story that's on here. So I'm excited to hear everyone's story. Imagine if someone was just living under a rock, had no idea who you are. You get to explain exactly who you are, how your paranormal adventure started. And that gets me jazzed up, as well as, when you're telling your experiences, not everyone sees the same experience as you do. So I get to see all these different angles of all the crazy stuff that happened that night. So even if things are going 100 miles an hour, I get to take a deep breath, slow down, and really enjoy this night. So that's what's been going on with me, Shawn. I was just excited.
Okay. I was thinking like maybe, I don't know, you took the pups for a hike or something. But okay, that'll do.
Yeah, no, my poodles are the love of my life, but
yes. Yeah. So
well, tonight's all about you guys.
Tonight is about them.
excited.
Just doing a little bit of catch up, man. I just kind of went off on a tangent about my stuff, so I want to give you an opportunity to do it too.
Thank you.
Guys, you guys watch that ticker. Go to ghosthuntforbrian.eventb.com. Get your tickets for this public ghost hunt. All the money and proceeds that we're going to be raising is going to help fight cancer, help our fellow paranormal investigator, Brian Felicia, fight cancer and help them with the financial aspect of it. And we're going to be another long gone doll, guys. We're going to be auctioning one off at the event, and we're going to have other things there for you to auction on to as well. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And,
I should be using my picture here.
We got someone from Scotland. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Andrea. And
Hey, Jeremy. Jeremy's
so
on.
let's do this real quick.
Hey, Jeremy.
Let's kind of like go through everybody and introduce who everyone is and just kind of give us a little tidbit. I know Nick has been on our show before, but Erin is usually commenting on the show, but everybody may not know who all you are. And we just want to know kind of how you guys got into the paranormal. So Don, since you're on the top row with Brian and I, why don't we start with you?
Okay.
So just tell us a little bit about yourself, brother. What got you to the paranormal, your team, and
Well, what got me into it was basically like the like horror stories that I often heard as a kid. I've always been a huge fan of like horror films ever since 5 years old after seeing Jaws. Yeah, not the kind of film that every 5-year-old should see, but but anyway, then I started getting into like all kinds of paranormal kind of films, and found out that some of them have been adapted from real life events, and such as let's see, The Conjuring would be one of the biggest names that comes and that pops up now as far as modern horror. But I first took a haunted ghost tour like around I believe it was 12 or 13 years old, which is how I met Nick. And me and him have been great friends ever since. And so I've been watched all kinds of shows like let's see, like Ghost Hunters. Let's see, several others. Like I used to watch that Zach Bagans stuff, but yeah. And then I started hearing like stories about all kinds of haunted stuff around Chicago, like such as let's see, the H.H. Holmes house, and Nick's crazy dog just walked in.
Oh, jeez.
Mabel. Anyway, and so then that's what kind of got me into it. Like I hear all the stories about it, and I've always found them very fascinating.
nice.
Like the H.H. Holmes house is like one of the most one of the biggest one of my most favorite stories of all. And
Have you been there?
What?
Have you been there?
No, but not yet. But I want to. That's one of I definitely want to check that place out. See where it's just the idea of just being there where all those things happened.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of creepy walking across the top of it.
Tom, have you been there?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Nice.
I went with Jeff Mudgett and Ursula from Chicago.
Oh, cool. Well, Tom, since we're already talking to you, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I met Tom a while back with Nick through Haunted Road Media. So,
we met at St. Louis during the Paracon.
Yeah,
first time.
That's where we met first time, but we talked online before that. Which is awesome. I'm glad to have you guys as friends. So what got you into the paranormal?
Well, my paranormal journey started way before any of the TV shows ever came on TV. I was living in Tiffin, Ohio, believe it or not, and there was a lack of interest in doing things out there. So we used to go out to the cemeteries at night with a bottle of MD 2020. I think you know what it is. We would just literally go out there and try to scare each other pretty much. And then some weird like shadows and stuff was happening out in the cemetery. It was kind of creepy. And then we kept doing it. And then we took drives out into the country And not to get myself arrested here, but we would find old abandoned houses and go inside and kind of experiment around. And we got some interesting activities there. And that was before any of these paranormal gadgets came out. We were basically just using our eyes and our ears. And that's kind of where it started. You know, it was about the time Ghostbusters came out. So there was kind of an interest there, but nothing ever came on TV yet.
Mm.
And that was like 1982, huh?
Yeah. I lived in Ohio from 1978 to 1987, about 10 years. Yeah.
Okay, so the entire time I lived in California, you were here in Ohio.
I lived in Ohio, not too far from here. A quick drive right to your house. Yeah.
Wow.
And then more recently, I'd say probably a good 10 years ago, I started getting interested in the local Paracons. And I got interested in that because I worked with a couple filmmakers, and they were making horror movies, and they were showing them and presenting them at film festivals. And then I got to meet some people involved in the paranormal. At that time, Nick was there, but he was just a little fart, and he didn't want to hang around an old fart. So, but I got to see Nick and his dad and that thing all the time, but I kind of hung it to myself at that time. And then I went out on a few of those Paracons, and Nick can vouch for it because I showed up at a lot of them he was at, but we still never made that strange connection. The strange connection with Nick started 5 years ago, Nick. When
it was about actually 6 years ago, I think. Because we started collaborating. Well, almost because we started collaborating in late 2016.
Yeah, and then Nick and I have been on multiple road trips together, and you know, all we have to do is mention something, we'd go right off the road until we found it. You know, there was no hesitation on us. We got into women's prisons and live prisons and tried to raid the gates. You know, we were doing some really fun stuff. Nice. And we checked out what is it, Nick? The bridges of hell in Illinois.
The 7 gates to hell, which is down in southern Illinois.
Believe me, when you go through that, you're going through hell, trying to find all these little tunnels.
Yep, right. We found 6 of them, but we never found the last one.
No, the 7th one was supposedly concealed, and you would have to walk down a path to find it. Isn't that what you found out, Nick?
I think so. I'm gonna have to relook into that because that was 3 years ago.
And then we started Bachelor's Grove Cemetery and doing investigations out there, and we found some really interesting stuff. And then there are some local folklore stuff like the Holmes House. I did that at one of the Paracons. I actually took a ride, one of the bus ride tours, and got to go right on the site. And it's an interesting place, except the post office is in the way there. They built the post office over half of the body of the house, or the foundation of the house. And then from that point on, Nick and I were like yip and yap. You know, we were just about on everything going. At that time, I was between jobs. I haven't had a job yet, so I was free just about any time that you wanted to go and do anything. So I made a lot of Paracons and did a lot of investigations. So
nice. Very nice. All right. Now, you mentioned a couple things I want to touch on real quick.
Sure.
First of all, Mad Dog 2020. Anyone that is old enough to know the poison that is Mad Dog 2020 knows that only 2 things comes from Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah.
Bad decisions
and vomit. We've done plenty of that over the days.
Yep. That's awesome. And with Tiffin, Laura Holmes has mentioned that it was near Mohican, is it?
No, well, Mansfield's like a 45-minute drive from Tiffin, and we were up in Mohegan territory a lot of times up there, but it's not right next door. It's about as close as you to get to Mansfield as it's for me to get to Mansfield when I lived in Tiffin. About 45 minutes.
I was asking about Mohican because I spent a lot of time camping there, and there's Landell's Castle there. I was going to ask if you have been there.
No, I have not visited the castle. I went through some of the Amish areas and stuff like that out there.
Oh, there's good food, good cheese. Oh, yeah.
Cookies. Oh, wow.
Oh, pie.
Oh, the Amish cookies are the best, right?
Amish pie.
Oh.
And back in the 90s when we had like music stereo systems, the best place to get a box for your subwoofer was built by Amish people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Erin attests to that. All right.
Well, Tiffin also had the state hospital, and it took up about quite a bit of land, and it ran along the river. So I'm not going to be surprised if sometime during the future that the old Tiffin Hospital is going to be showing up there on some paranormal teams list, and the Seneca Caverns also. That's right outside Tiffin.
Ooh, I have to look that up.
Shawn, I've been there. You'd love that.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it's called Seneca Caverns. It's right outside Tiffin.
What is it? Well, the what caverns?
Seneca.
Seneca.
Yeah.
Seneca Caverns. Okay.
The town north of me was called Fort Seneca. You know, that tells you how much of a in the boonies you were at that time. It kind of built up because I got a lot of colleges down there. So like Tiffin University and Heidelberg University and stuff like that.
And there's legitimate caverns.
Caverns and old remains of cemeteries that I used to visit and threw up all over.
After drinking Mad Dog.
The Mad Dog 2020. I mean.
Not to mention the other bodily functions you had to do while you're out there, but
Nick, you've been on the show before. We know a little bit about you, but why don't you give us a quick little refresher, and maybe you have some new podcasts that you could tell us about or something.
Yeah, of course. Well, plus also this is, because it's Bryan's first time meeting me. He doesn't know a lot about me yet. But first of all, I just want to say, Shawn, it's good to be back on your show again. But to describe a little bit about me, obviously, I've been a paranormal investigator now for 16 years since I was 12. What got me into the paranormal was, even more interestingly enough, although I say that age 12 was the start of me, before that, I was already, watching horror films by the time I was like 6 or 7 years old. And, of course, being, growing up in the late 90s, even though we weren't old enough to watch, we also watched the X-Files in those days. I think that's what kind of slowly but surely kind of started the ranks for me to kind of climb up those ranks in order to get to where I am now. And, it's the way how I also got into it was, unlike most people where usually they get into it because they had an experience when they were a child. For me, it was completely different. I mean, in addition to the horror films I was watching, I just had one day back in 2005, I happened to be, just going through the channels. And this was before, Ghost Adventures took over the Travel Channel and all these other shows that followed. This was when they used to have, paranormal shows every Friday night instead of, waiting till October. And I just happened to I was going through the channels, and all of a sudden I come across this show that's called Most Haunted. And I thought, well, that looks kind of interesting. So I decided to check it out. And I think it's like from that moment on, I was just like, I became so fascinated with it. And with that also came with history, because obviously history plays a very important role. And probably within a matter of weeks, I was already studying my very first haunted house file. Not to actually investigate, just learning about it, which was actually the Amityville Horror. So I think since that day to this is pretty much, how I've been for the last 16 years. So
I've been to Amityville.
Yeah, you said you've been to Amityville, Tom.
I want to see the Amityville house.
I think everyone would love to go there if they have it.
From the outside, it looks different. They changed the windows.
I heard that.
They changed the. They took out the eye windows, the curved, the moon, half moon cut windows.
So that way,
they did that so they could prevent it from becoming a tourist attraction.
Right.
Still is.
Still is. So that didn't work.
Nope.
Right.
Well, at the time I went to Amityville, they actually had the chips on the side of the house where people were going up and taking the wood right off the side of the house.
Oh, I'm
my
not surprised.
gosh.
You can
It's
actually
just so disrespectful.
Yeah,
Come on, show some respect, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks that when people do that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
that makes it harder for all of us as investigators. There's this one house that they ended up tearing down here in Ohio, and it was because people would keep on trespassing, and so the owners are just like, you know what, it's not worth the trouble. They tore it down. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate. I mean, people are just disrespectful. I mean, someone owns that land, you know, and
What
you
house
gotta.
was that? What house?
What house was that?
There we go.
I don't remember the name of it. It keeps on coming up on Facebook though. Every once in a while, someone will post on Facebook a picture of this house, and then someone's always got a comment. The house is torn down, and that's the story of that house. People just kept on trespassing. I can't remember they had a name for it. I don't remember it. But
You're talking about Gore Orphanage?
no, Gore Orphanage. It's a whole nother story and a whole nother.
Yeah.
That's a cool place though.
Yeah.
But as you can see, this is pretty much up for those that haven't seen. This is pretty much what the Amityville house looks pretty much today. Not much
puts it up on his green screen.
Yep.
All right.
I use this for a lot of things to describe, that when we're talking about like a certain situation or event or location, I always try to search a house to kind of fit in the subject. So that's your thing too.
Pictures.
What's that, Tom?
I said I didn't think of that. I should have gathered up some old pictures.
Well, see, that's the other thing too. I mean, another quick thing about myself is, in addition to, of course, most recently I started my own paranormal group 3 years ago, which was called the Illinois Paranormal Force, IPF, or 9166. Don, of course, is a part of it. Tom's group, NIPA, is associated with it, which is Northern Illinois Paranormal Association, which you can see in the corner. But in addition to a group, I also co-host 3 shows now, 2 of which are on the Paranormal United Network. We do a show that's called The Petri Dish, which Jeremy, I know he was in the chat room a little bit earlier. We broadcast that every Thursday night, 7 p.m. And then on Fridays, I also do another show. It's called Paranormal Mysteries, which we broadcast at 2 p.m. CST and 7 o'clock BST. Because if you kind of compare the 2 shows, Petri Dish, it's like the show I do for the American audiences. Paranormal Mysteries, what we do for the UK audiences. And now I currently co-host a 3rd show, which we usually will run every other Sunday, which is called, it's actually the same group with Paranormal Mysteries, and that's called The Americans versus the British. I mean, not really too much of paranormal. We do sometimes talk about it with that along with history, but we more talk about different cultures, involving the U.S. and the U.K., and we just have a lot of fun.
Nice. And you also like to read scary stories.
That's right. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Lately, I've also recently released an audiobook series just a few months ago, which was obviously, as some of you guys know, I've been a huge fan of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books.
Love those books.
Yeah, classics. And in fact, I actually got an image I'm going to share right here to use on the background that fits the atmosphere.
Nice.
I've always been a huge fan of those books, and I've recently discovered that there have been several tribute books that have been coming out over the last couple of years. In fact, they just had a brand new one come out, which I have yet to read. It's called The Nightmare Society Volume 3, which, unlike the original trilogy, it's not really meant for kids. It's actually more for, ages 14 plus. So it's more for a teenage and adult audiences. But the one thing I was kind of disappointed, I mean, as much as I love the books, there was one thing that I was kind of, a little bit disappointed about was, except for the original trilogy and some of the books, most of them didn't have audiobooks, which, in my opinion, I think it would make the books a lot more of a frightening experience to them. So I started off with one book that was called Corpse Called New American Folklore. which literally, again, was another ripoff of Scary Stories, which it took me a few months to, put together, but I was able to upload the first series, available on YouTube. It's free, of course. And now I'm currently working on a new series. It's called Tales from Valley View Cemetery, which I recorded all the stories. Now it's to the editing process, which is a little bit more tougher than the first series. So you got to love the editing. But it's totally worth it, though. So, and the coolest part was, before these narrations, I actually contacted the companies that made these books. One of which is called Cemetery Gates Media. And I asked them, saying, are you guys ever planning on making audiobooks? And they said, well, we don't have any plans to do so. And I said, well, would there be any chance that I could do it? I'm not asking for money or anything, just for fun. And they said, go ahead. So, and along with the Nightmare Society books, we officially have the rights to record these stories. So that's what's keeping me going of, wanting to record, making these audiobooks. So next series should be available real soon.
Nice.
Awesome. Awesome. Dude, that's so cool. You have to do that. And see, guys, all you got to do sometimes is reach out and ask. And you never know.
I've listened to them. I love them.
Oh, you listened to the Corpse?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, because I was telling you, like, I listen to, like, Scary Story. Like, I'm weird. Like, I have to listen to somebody read me a story at night. So you've put me to sleep plenty of times. Thank you.
Well,
there should be some sort of
there's actually one other cool thing I got to bring up, because it just came up, and I got to say this while I'm still talking about it. One of the most recent books that came, and most people don't know about this yet. Of course, a lot of you guys know, Tom, I know you got a copy of it. There was a more recent book that was kind of like the unofficial fourth book of the series, which was called Scary Stories: A Tribute to Terror. And I found out that Kurt Tuckfield, who was the writer of the book, he made an extended version, which was like he added 10 more stories to it. And I was like, well, if I knew you were going to make more stories, I could have, bought the other copy. Well, he said he's going to hold off because he might make a second book. But perhaps the really cool thing about it is that he decided to add my name into the acknowledged credits of that book. So my name is on that book now. Usually you add acknowledgments of people who actually helped you worked on that book, but because I was a huge supporter of the book's release, I'm a good friend of Kurt's, he basically added my name as kind of like a thank you. So got my name in a third book now.
Well, I got an idea for you, and we're going to trademark it right now.
All right,
you're going to contact Mike Ricksucker, and you're going to read his encounters of paranormal.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
wait till he gets back from Egypt. But you're gonna ask him if you, dude. How cool would that be? To read that,
right? Dog got a story in that one.
Yeah, Tom's got a story in that one too. Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, all three of us do.
And Dustin here, T's got a story in there too.
Yep.
Aaron will soon. We're gonna get her in there, and Bryan maybe one day.
And Don,
you can be part of the club. Join the club, man. Yes. And speaking of Erin,
a story about the dress. Remember the dress at the Gill House?
Yeah, that we should tell that story for sure.
Oh, we're gonna hear about the dress. We're gonna hear about the bat. We're gonna hear about all sorts of stuff. So, but first, we got to hear about Erin Kacmarcik. Who is this Erin girl? Where did she come from?
Oh God. So what do you want to know?
We want to know what got you into the paranormal. We want to know your social security number, your date of birth, everything.
Well, my birthday was Sunday, and you forgot 2 years in a row.
Not forget,
Mister. We're such good
Sunday
friends.
was Father's Day. Okay, I was doing Father's Day. I
would have said, happy birthday to you, but we actually almost had a tornado hit our area.
I know. I saw.
So a tornado gets him out of it. Father's Day. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was gonna send you a gift card, a $5 Starbucks gift card, but guess what? Facebook doesn't do anymore. Good job, Facebook.
Oh, really? Yeah, you're right.
I've tried. That's like my thing. Like I like to send people those little $5 gift cards for their birthday. You know, my close friends for their birthdays. When I remember to, I send the $5 gift card. But they don't do that anymore.
That's right.
There's no more gift. They want you to spend $10 on some other stupid crap that's not even a gift card. Like, what am I? Like, oh, guess what? It's so and so's birthday today. Order them a birthday so they'll get it next week. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
At least
And
with
then
the
it
gift
comes
cards,
up like a month later and it says, you haven't sent your gift yet. You still have time.
Right. So, Erin, just tell us what got you into the paranormal. Maybe tell us about the doll that's behind me. Whatever comes to your mind, so people can get to know you a little bit.
Oh, okay. So what got me into the paranormal? So for forever, like my earliest memories, which I now know, were like skinwalkers or entities walking around my grandma's house. And I didn't really like put two and two together until two of my children, without telling them, would like point out the window and ask me what they were. So then I knew I wasn't crazy because they were describing the same things I saw when I was little. And so those were my earliest memories, looking out of the window or looking up the stairs and seeing these things. And then that just was what really opened my like curiosity. And I don't know, I've just been, and my kids are into it, so we go places and I show them not to be afraid, like, and yeah, I don't know.
So, Erin, this was like your second investigation, wasn't it?
Well, not really, but I guess technical, like, because I've been on like a lot by myself, but I guess, yeah, like, yeah.
Okay.
We can call it that.
Okay. Right on. I just thought it was so cool. I mean, we had actually two newbies with us. We're still waiting on Nikki to join us.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get a hold of her. I mean, she's said she's dealing with something right now, but worst comes to worst, I'll just have to probably give her one last shout out, see if she still wants to come on.
Right on. Either way, no pressure, of course. But it was her first ever investigation.
Right.
So
right.
It was just really cool to have so many people learning that night and to be a part of that. I mean, you never, your first like big investigation, you don't forget that.
Oh yeah.
So
because me and you, Shawn, we went on a lot of investigations, like with Exo Paranormal together, or just together by, like, not by ourselves, but like not with Exo, but we've gone on. So it's like, but this was like, like a a technical investigation.
Yeah.
So
I mean, your first one was with
Bryan.
Your Paranormal and Bryan, right? At the nunnery.
He's my first.
Oh, sounds like an awful time.
Oh, there she popped your cherry.
Yeah.
All right, Shawn, we're already getting to that time of the podcast.
Apparently. 33 minutes in.
33 minutes in. That's the cue.
There's no right or wrong.
Hey, Holly.
Hey, Holly.
Again, we got Irene. She's from. You know how we've been getting these international folks watching? Irene's from Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, hi, Irene.
Hey, Irene.
Mm-hmm.
There she is from Tokyo, Germany, World of Ghosts.
That's different groups she has, but she's actually from Tokyo, Japan.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you for joining us. It's like really late or really early, however you look at it there. So thank you for tuning in.
Jeremy's back.
Yes. I totally got sidetracked there. So the reason why we all got together, right, was to talk about the Gill House. Here, real quick, in case anyone is not familiar, this is an awesome picture that Tom McNicholas took of the Gill House.
That is
Great
such a cool
picture.
photograph. I mean, that's like, that would be perfect for like a paranormal documentary poster.
Yeah.
It really would be. It's an awesome
It's such
photo.
an amazing picture.
I was about to say that makes for like a great thumbnail for like a video about it.
Right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's 11 a.m. in Tokyo, Irene says. So they're just starting their day.
Oh, so they're just starting the day. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I got a couple of shots.
Yeah, you did. You took a lot of
You
good
did.
ones, but that
You
one
did.
was really good.
That's probably the best one.
Yeah. And
So-
the moon was right over the house that
Yeah, I was
night.
gonna say, especially
So
the moon
perfect.
shining. Yeah.
That's so the Gill House is in Galion, Ohio. It's an old mansion. And there's a lot of history and a lot of tragedy that has happened in that home. And it's just such a cool place. And I felt like I was connecting with one guy there who was an alcoholic. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to bring one of those, one of those little one-shot glasses, or the mini airplane bottles of, I'm going to get like Jack Daniels, and I'll bring it there, and I'll pour him a shot, and I'll leave it there. He really wanted it, and he said it's got to be neat. It's got to be neat, right? That's I was doing a Facebook Live, and a psychic friend was saying that he was. I said something about bourbon, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got to be neat though. You can't put ice in it. You know what? It's hot out. I'm gonna put ice in my drink. I don't like cold beverages.
No,
That's
he
just
just
me.
wants it straight out of the bottle.
He's one. Yep.
So I guess Jeremy's told me to watch out for you guys. You guys throw some real zingers at me.
Yep. There you go. Brian comes up with the best
that means.
questions. Or I don't know how Brian's going to do the segment. I'm sure that he's brainstorming as we're going, because we're still doing it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's gonna be a party segment. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but whatever you got to do, man. But he does. Brian comes up with the best stuff, and it's a lot of fun. And actually, throughout the show, he'll ask you some tough questions. He'll make you think.
It's really a flow state. When you go to an investigation like the Gill House, you don't know what's going to happen. You just go in there and you have a lot of fun, and you kind of just you're open enough, and you let the Gill House give you the experiences. That's kind of how the questions are. They just come about freely. So
nice. See, I thought you were about to go into the segment. I was like,
go.
Okay, here we go.
No,
All right.
No, it's not time yet. You got
but he does.
Listen, I love your stories. Trust me. I love your paranormal adventures. It was real cute, but I want to get into the Gill House experiences here. You know what I'm saying? I saw that photo. I'm ready for some good stuff.
So let's do this. Nick, what was your favorite experience at the Gill House?
Was Nick the one that wore the dress, or am I jumping too far into it? Tom was saying how Nick was wearing a dress or something.
A dress? I wasn't wearing any type of dress.
Yeah, wasn't there like a haunted dress or something you guys were talking about?
That was Tom.
Oh, it was
Tom.
Oh, Tom was wearing the dress.
I was chasing a dress.
Right. He was chasing the skirts.
Okay. Sorry, I was just lost in translation here. I thought Nick was wearing the dress. My bad. I wasn't there, guys. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
I would pay to see that.
I don't know if I really had much of an actual favorite moment at the Gill House, because there was, obviously when we first walked in, we had the opportunity of learning the history of the location. There was just something so fascinating. Nick wore a dress.
That's how rumors get started. That's right.
Yep, here comes. Looks like a new rumor has been born. So apparently I wore a dress.
The rumor's going to be Shawn Gilmore.
The whole time you're playing with your blue balls or something. The whole time
he was.
Yeah,
He was. This is the new rumor. This is the new rumor. Nick was running through the Gill House. Nick was running through the Gill House wearing a dress with his balls.
Carrying 3 balls that were lit up. And when I touched the balls, they turned blue.
it's true.
Oh my God.
Tom needed to count to make sure all 3 were there. You know. I heard there was 3. I counted. There were 3.
There were 3.
Oh God.
I took a picture of the blue one.
Okay.
Everybody got to see my blue balls. Yes.
Very supernatural
conversation.
Did he put a picture of his blue balls on Facebook that night? I think.
All over it.
Mm.
Jesus.
Okay, so
Anyway,
in a more professional way. Anyways, yes.
Just so everybody knows the balls that we were speaking of.
Oh, cat balls. Those, yeah.
Those are Nick's balls in Tom's hands.
In Tom's hands.
No, those were actually my hands on.
No, that was Nick's.
Oh, that was Nick's hands. Oh,
that was taken at my house. In fact, where Don is sitting right now, which is downstairs, that's in the kitchen area. I took it around that same spot, holding them. So that came in the mail.
Yeah, when I grabbed them, they turned blue.
Oh, wait a minute, you play with your balls in the kitchen?
Apparently, and take pictures of it.
And all the balls that were multicolored turned blue.
Guys,
when Tom touches them, they turn blue.
They do.
This show has gone down some rabbit holes.
I was just about we are definitely going down the rabbit hole.
Oh my goodness.
It makes good
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we continue, and we know about
my eyes are tearing right now.
All right.
Can
I answer one? Talk about one of our first experience.
Yes.
All right, we had that 30 or 40-minute prep meeting when he was talking about the history of the place, and the first thing that I noticed that I got a sense of smoke smell, and I brought that up to him, and he was like really shocked. He pointed out up in the rafters that where the paint, they were removing paint, they found charred remains on the walls, and I had asked him right prior to that, was there a fire in this house? So I thought that was probably one of the first experiences we had when we were there. That happened right during the prep meeting.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I mean, when you get those smells, it's and then you're able to confirm, what that smells from and what you're experiencing. That's so cool.
Especially he had the paint stripped off the wall and the charred remains were right up on the wall. Right after I said that, he says, "Look up there," and you could see the charred remains on the wall. And he says he doesn't have any knowledge of any fire that ever took place at the Gill House, and he was going to even check it out.
Yeah, he said that they had just stripped everything off, and they had just found these charred remarks, but they had no history of a fire. But they were going to look into it because they had just found these things, and he had touched on it, 5 minutes earlier, saying, "I smell smoke," or
Yeah, that's when I said that it kind of smells like burnt smoke.
Nice.
Yeah, and the entire experience, there, it was just, again, it was just so fascinating to know. And furthermore, if you guys remember from when we were on the history tour of it, that despite the fact, being completely built in Ohio, some of the material came from Chicago to add to the Gill House itself. So it's like Chicago in some way, shape, or form, even if it wasn't much, they briefly played a role for the construction of the Gill House.
And Tiffin, Ohio. He even mentioned Tiffin, Ohio on it.
That's right.
Yeah, it was like a weird connection for all of us.
All of us had a connection
Yeah.
to the house. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was cool.
It's so cool. I mean, and even today's show, we have 3 people on from Ohio and 3 people on from Illinois. So it's pretty cool.
Right.
That's right.
I'm a transient. I lived in Ohio. Now I'm in Illinois.
That's true. You used to live there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If anyone has a chance to check out the Gill House, even go to their Facebook page or what have you, make sure to do that.
Yeah,
And- because this place is so cool, and it's ran by the Historical Society. It's they do what they can through donations and everything,
And he's
they-
got so much knowledge of that place
Oh.
too. It's unreal. And and I tried looking up some of those things that you talked about just to kind of refresh it in my mind. Talking about the 2 ladies that divided the house and
Mhm.
all that stuff, and the little boy. I really don't know how to find all that information. I searched everywhere about the Gill House. I typed the Gills, and what was it? What was the one sister's name? Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what her name was.
Yeah. Well, wasn't Donna the one that committed suicide upstairs
Hmm.
in the
Find
bathroom?
it then.
Did you-
Emma.
I knew that one of them passed
Emma, that's
away
her name.
upstairs.
Emma.
Emma.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been a month. I mean, I couldn't find any more documentations. I wish we had a transcript for the entire thing where someone was writing everything down.
I know, right? You think of these things afterwards.
Usually on a
so-
paranormal investigation, you write your notes so you don't forget everything, your names and the locations and all that stuff. We did not do that.
Hmm.
See, that's
Yeah.
why I always film a lot of it. So that way, because that might be your best option then. Because then, by looking over the footage of what you filmed, then you
Mhm.
can pretty much, maybe not exactly take all the credit, but at least write everything down to what was told to us while the camera was running.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, cameras are one of the best things. Yeah, it's the best option you have for capturing everything as you're while you're exploring, while you're investigating.
I mean,
Or
even if you
the
just have
most
a digital
embarrassing
recorder.
option. I'm glad those cameras weren't rolling when bats started going around the room.
Actually, a couple of them were.
Yeah.
No, but it didn't catch me going on the ground like, "Ah!"
You know what? There's a documentary out there of me diving to the ground in the Monroe house, screaming like a little girl, run from a bat. It just happens. What are you gonna do? Don't
You
be
don't
embarrassed.
understand. That's my worst fear.
Well-
Like I can do anything: snakes, alligators, ghosts, demons, whatever.
Just not
But you-
flying.
Bats?
But
Nope.
when bats are flying around you, they're just going after the bugs that are around you, not you.
Don't give a damn.
Bats are awesome. I love bats.
Would
We
you
just
rather
had
have
that
more
flying around.
mosquitoes or bats?
But I'm
Just had-
mosquitoes. I
we
can
just had-
smack a mosquito.
Hey, we had that fly around our pool in the backyard
Let's-
yesterday. I'm used
let's-
to it.
Let's explain the bat incident.
So
When we were taking the tour, we went up in the attic. And then apparently when the kids were living at the house, they had set up a swimming pool in the attic so the kids could go and refresh themselves in the attic. And the water would get over the side of it and it started warping the floor.
Well, it was
And-
also a cistern to collect water
Thank
for
you, Dustin.
every
For the pool.
for
The
the yeah, they used it the not workers, but the housekeepers used the waters to
Oh,
they
really?
collected the water there too
Oh, wow.
to use it for the house, and the people swam in it
I
too.
missed
But
that story of it, but I know about how it warped the floor because
Yeah.
it had it all roped off, and then how the water leaked through and then kind of penetrated into the rooms upstairs. And so when we were searching around, we found a room where the ceiling was collapsing because of that water. And we were trying to locate the exact location underneath of where that pool was set up in the attic. And I found a little broom handle, and I started tapping on the ceiling. And when I started tapping on the ceiling, apparently the bat says, "Oh, what the hell's going on here?" And it took off, and it was like flying around.
Tom.
And then I ran out, and I said, "There's a bat in here." And then she said, "No." And then I think it was Erin went walking in there, and she got chased out of the room by the bat.
Aaron's like, I wish I had a broom.
No, I fell to my knees, and I made a noise I've never heard come out of my mouth before. Like and crawled under the table.
Well, that's where the first bat came from.
Yeah.
There was more than one. That's right.
There were like 2 bats in the house.
Yeah.
The second bat came when we were doing the walkthrough. We went down into the basement and we checked out the basement. We came back upstairs. So then we were changing our instruments and whatever. And then I took a walk down the hallway. And as I was walking down the hallway, I saw a dress going down the stairs. Not Nick wearing a dress, but
there's your answer, Bryan.
I literally saw a dress going down the hall, down the stairs towards the basement. So then there were like slats in the banister as I was walking by, and I could see this dress going down the stairs. So I turned and I saw the back of the dress for a split second. It moved into the darkness, which we left the light on in the basement after we were down there. And then that light was turned off. And then that dress just disappeared into the dark. So then I come back around and I'm telling everybody about the dress. And I said, I want to try to keep it in my mind of what this dress looked like, because I'd never seen a dress like that. It was like, I said, it was kind of poochy, and it had kind of rolls on it, and stuff like that. I could describe it to you. So finally, I think it was Erin and I went up to a drape. And I started designing the dress on the drape, what the dress looked like. And wasn't it you that had actually looked up the date of a dress that from that period of time where the family lived in that house?
Mm-hmm. And it was like the early 1900s.
1900s.
Housekeeping dress.
So I tried to debug that dress going down the stairs. And I said, how could I have seen a dress going down the stairs? It wasn't an apparition. I didn't see a body. I just saw a dress going down the stairs. So I walked back down that hallway again, and I noticed the slats. And then when I'm walking with my flashlight, it looked like the flashlight was making little slats going down the stairs. I said, but that's not what I saw. And I said, then I turned around the stairs, and there was no slats in the banister. And literally, there was a dress that walked down in the basement. Next part, bat number 2. As soon as I went back to tell everybody about the dress, all of a sudden, the bat comes flying up the back stairs from the basement and flew through the house and around the living room and into the foyer. And that's when everybody started getting freaked out.
Well, except me. I wasn't quite aware at first that.
No,
I thought it was the same one.
Well, Don was the hero.
Well, you're not the one who had a bat fly into your face.
Yeah.
So with that, the bat's flying around and everybody's screaming, coming to tell my haunted dress story. And no one was paying any attention to me because they were worried about this bat flying around their head. So we spent the next, 20 minutes or so trying to capture and get the bat out of the house. We opened all the doors and tried to shoo it out the window.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, no, Tom, because I followed you outside when you saw the bat.
Yeah, we went out the back.
The dress.
Yeah. You came back with you for the dress. Yeah, because then I showed you what I described what the dress
was. And then we
went out on the back
we were sitting outside, and you were like, and I was like, leave me alone, and you were like, I feel spiders or spider webs, and I was like, those aren't spider webs, because when I feel spirits, I feel like I'm touching spider webs, and that's why I was saying leave me alone. And he's like, oh, is that why you're saying leave me alone? I'm like, yeah, and so it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I saw the bat.
Yep, so did I.
And did you guys see the backdrop I put together?
Yeah.
But once you at the same time
even Justin agrees.
That bat flew right to the back door.
So cute.
It was hovering back door. It never flew out the door. It just turned around and went down the hallway back into the living room again.
Yeah,
it never wanted to leave.
Yeah, you
just
just laps around the chandelier.
Like when you're trying to get like a bug or a fly or something, it's like right near by the exit. It just turned. It reminds me of that. I don't know if you guys ever see that Family Guy skit where they had that fly living as a tenant. They're like, okay, now where now?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And so then after the bad incident, that's when Shawn pulled out his rods, or his, what did he call it? Those
Wait.
those, no, wait.
Oh my God.
The light rope, not rod. You pulled out your new rod.
It was, you know,
Brian, you missed a night.
It's called a tripwire, guys. A tripwire. Tripwire. All right. Actually, I'm glad you guys brought that up.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Because let's just check this out. Okay, so the tripwire is it's a set of lights. Each individual light is like a K2 meter. Okay, so each light lights up to a different level. The color is a different level of EMFs, right? So here, let me just do this real quick. We're gonna do.
It's getting windy.
It's a live investigation at the Gill House.
Yeah, it's starting to get windy.
My friend Ray Gooseby came on.
Yeah.
A new toy.
Oh, Goose. Okay.
It's like the spirit wanted to show what my toy could do.
You?
Was that when you were in the library?
Ray Gooseby. What was it going, Goose?
Oh, Goose is watching.
This is upstairs.
Look at my new toy I got, Goose.
Yeah, that was in one of the bedrooms, I recall.
That was Emma's room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
The whole road.
I was doing a Facebook Live
I'll play it again
investigation at the Gill House in Galion, Ohio. My friend Ray Gooseby came on, and I had to show him my new toy. And look what happened. It's like the spirit wanted to show what my toy could do.
Ray Gooseby. What was it going, Goose?
Oh, Goose is watching.
Look at my new toy I got, Goose.
You're getting the names down.
Yeah. Right?
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
The whole road.
I like how you hear me in the background.
Right? That's so cool. And so at the end of the night, I decided to go and do a solo in the library.
Yeah, I don't know. And we didn't even talk about your solo. Like, I have no idea what happened at all.
Well, here, I'll tell you a little bit. Let's watch this clip.
Okay.
On Saturday night, I went back to the haunted Gill House in Galion, Ohio. I did a solo run in the library to test out my newest equipment, the tripwire. Each individual light has its own EMF sensor and changes colors with the different strengths of EMF that it detects. I set the lights around the table in hopes of seeing who would sit down with me.
I have my chair.
This is what happened.
I sit at the head of the table because I'm the man of the house. Where do you sit? My wife sits on the other end of the table because she's the woman of the house. Where do you sit? Just light up the light over by your seat. Thank you.
On Saturday night, I went back to the
Awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That's
so pretty
great.
much the whole time I was sitting there, I was trying to get that exact thing to happen. So I set the lights up around the oval table, just as it was pictured, and I was trying to get interaction. That was the only time that I got a light to light up. I felt like in that area, I felt someone kind of standing in that area. So I wasn't surprised that happen there at all. But it was just like really cool to actually get that confirmation. And I wish I would have had a picture of the table in the light. There was a chair where that light went off at.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You were in the dining room?
That was not in the dining room. I tried it in the dining room first, but then I decided that the library would be a better place to try it at. That was in the library. That's a small room that's right before that set of stairs that you're not really allowed to go on.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was the library because they had that back section of it. You know?
Yeah, that was the library.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what they called the library. Even though, and then there's another doorway that has like some other things in it. I wanted to go in there, but they have a lot of stuff in storage back there.
I felt some activity from back there.
Yeah.
Behind the library, not in the library.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, they have there's a lot of stuff in storage back there. So not as many people are going back there to investigate. There's a lot of who knows what in there. I mean, if I'm going to go and if I want to hide from, dodge people, I'm going to go to where people don't go.
Well, me and Nick got a lot of activity in the library.
What happened with you guys at the library?
I mean, the REM pod didn't go off or anything, but we, I had remember I got that new moss scrying thing, and it was going crazy every time I was asking a question or whatever. Like, it was awesome. And you could feel the energy in there, like it was nuts.
Was it from one of the ladies or from the little kid?
No, it was a lady.
It was
definitely the lady, yeah.
And the kid hung out in the attic.
Yeah.
Because I got that impression that he dropped something up in the attic and he wanted us to try to look in the rafters to try to find a toy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you were trying to do that. Real quick, Laura Holmes, we're actually talking about a room in the Gill House, but that's awesome that you're going to do the family tree history.
Oh, that'd be good to hear.
Yeah. That's honestly, when you're going to learn to try and do some history, a local history, a good place to start is at your local library. You never know a lot of libraries have historians that work there, and then you can do. It's always fun to go through the film, the slides. I love it. Yeah, I love doing that. And
does the library actually tell you about the paranormal encounters in the house, or no?
You can ask about like history though, like anything.
Usually they don't really talk about the paranormal stories. It's really more the history of the location. Like they may know that it's haunted.
Yeah, I mean, some of them will know though, like the Historical Society.
I can give you a perfect example is the show The Dead Files. Every time when Steve Jashavi goes in to talk to experts as well as historians and stuff, they rarely, if ever, talk about the paranormal activity going on. They usually just talk about the history itself.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. Like they'll talk about the history. If you ask them for a specific topic of history, they can help you kind of direct you. Just like, and then the next would be your local historical society, and then that's where you can get a lot of newspaper clippings and whatnot if they know about that specific property. For my house, only thing I could find at the library. Well, I found that my house is 100 years old. The address changed, so I was able to find the original address. And I was able to find I had to go to another library the next town over to get into the brain fart. What is it called? Come on, when they the census.
The census,
yeah. So I looked into the census and I was able to find a lot of people that lived in my home, at least starting in like the 30s. I was able to go all the way back to 1918, but the people back until around then, a lot of them, the area I lived in had a lot of rubber factories, and a lot of people that lived here worked in the rubber factories, which is kind of cool. And before this was a neighborhood, this was all farmland. And before that, this was all Native American territory.
Nice.
That's how my grandma's house was. Hers was all Native American land back then.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. It's kind of cool to be able to like pull all that history up, and then like, well, what happened before that? What happened? And you can actually see like the parcels. There's a map that shows the parcels and how everything was. My house was the first house on the street.
Because my grandma lives right by Squaw Rock.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Yeah, Squaw Rock is a park in the Cuyahoga, not Cuyahoga. Sorry, I'm used to saying Cuyahoga.
Metro
And
Parks.
Right, the Cuyahoga County Metro Parks.
Yeah.
Which is it's a really cool park. The Squaw Rock actually is a huge rock that someone carved a. It's like a, I don't know, what is it, like a snake or something on it, right?
Yeah, it's
like a
something like that.
snake and a princess, and or
Yeah.
not a princess, but a squaw.
Mermaid
And,
or something. Yeah.
yeah.
Is that in Mohegan?
No.
No, it's outside of. It's on the border of Cuyahoga County and Geauga County.
It's like Chagrin Falls.
Yeah, that area.
Yeah. If you ever heard of Chagrin Falls, Ohio, that is where the writer of Calvin and Hobbes is from.
Oh, really? That's
really.
funny you mentioned
Yeah.
that, because my brother, I think he actually mentioned it the other day, but he used to be a huge fan of Calvin and Hobbes.
I still am, man.
Me
How can you not be?
You know,
I love it.
this is gonna sound stupid. When I was younger, I don't know why, but I always kept calling it Calvin and Hobbles.
I would call it Calvin and Hobbies.
It seems like we always had that issue of saying the name wrong. I thought it was supposed to be Hobbles, so I kept calling it Calvin and Hobbles.
Most of the names in Ohio are hard to pronounce anyway.
Yeah, that's true. and
Have you
in
seen
my
the
in my
names
day
in
job,
Florida?
in my day job,
Those
people
are
are
hard to
like,
pronounce.
people are always surprised with that I can like pronounce the name of their towns at times, and I'm just like, well, I live in Ohio. They're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
That makes sense.
that makes sense then.
Like Bucyrus. How many people know how to pronounce Bucyrus correctly?
Right. Or
Iris?
Tuscaroras.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
Roberts.
Tuscaroras.
In the UK.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
that's
Muhammad.
actually, here's the other thing I got to say about them. I mean, I'll just talk about certain words that are so hard to say. You know what I mentioned earlier about, like, when I do my audiobook stories, there's
Yeah.
like certain words that I literally have to stop reading because I don't know how to pronounce it, and I have to look online while the recorder is still running, so I can try to figure out the word. So that's why, I mean, yes, in the final recordings, I edit it all out, but in reality, it takes a long time. So there's just so many words out there that are sometimes so hard to pronounce that I have to keep the recorder running for it.
Yeah, sometimes when I ever come across a new word that I can't pronounce, I have to look it up online myself.
Don
Yeah,
knows
thank God for those.
Google Translate, man.
Yeah, thank God
Right?
for
They'll
Google
even play
anymore.
it for you. Like, how do you pronounce?
How
this
do you
word?
pronounce Tuscaroras? Tuscaroras?
I mean, like, even if they don't have it, you know, there's always a video on YouTube of how you pronounce it too.
Yeah,
There are.
Yeah, you're just reading a story. What?
No, I said
Oh, no,
Nick
here it
has,
comes.
background music as well over his narration.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll just be reading a story and then just getting in the flow state, and then out of nowhere, just one of the big words.
It says in my new book,
The doors kept opening.
you should trust your instincts.
Go for it.
This is crazy, isn't it?
Where did you get that from? That was a new
Welcome.
edition.
into the abyss section.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
You
my
added to it.
God!
What is that? Why? That's me.
It took me so long. It took me so long to put that into the video editor. Like, first off, to make it, and then put it in the video editor, and then download the video. Well, also, it was so insane. What a weird night, everyone. But what's not weird is the Into the Abyss section, where there's no blue balls. There's just 13 fast fire questions.
Yeah, no glowing balls.
No, just 13 fast fire questions. We're going to answer them as quickly and as thoroughly as possible.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that was good, Brian.
Thank you. All right. And then Erin's blowing my cover. Are you kidding me?
I knew it.
I know you did, but you didn't see that coming. I always got something up my sleeve, Erin.
No, I didn't. That's great. You have to make Christmas cards out of that or something.
No, that needs to stay within this episode.
Hey. Shawn knows I make a mean card. Okay?
He does. He makes an awesome card. I wish I
we
had
get
one
giant cards too. Yeah, I got the software, baby. All right. Shawn, are you ready, my friend?
Oh, jeez.
All right, 13 fast fire questions. We're going to answer them as quickly and as thoroughly as possible. I'll give you number 1 and 13 as a reference point, but we're going to hop right into it. All right, my friend?
Okay.
All right.
All eyes on you.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready.
Let us begin, Don. Number 1, describe the paranormal in 3 words.
Paranormal? The existence of, let's see. 3 words. Let's see.
3 words.
Existence of ghosts.
If you got paid $100K a year to give ghost tours at any location you want, what location would you give ghost tours at?
Damn it.
Amityville House.
What's the most insane paranormal story you've ever heard?
Like the Amityville House murders. That was like one of the most insane ones. The fact that the son killed his entire family, being apparently possessed.
Besides Nick in a dress, what's your favorite Gill House moment?
Being chased by a bat.
Paranormal cardio session, absolutely.
Ooh, I like that.
And now, besides your senses, what's your favorite piece of paranormal equipment?
EVP recorder.
And why?
It's the way it's able to capture things that you normally don't hear at first.
I like that. Now, before an investigation, what's your favorite pre-investigation meal?
Pre-investigation meal? Pizza.
Oh, my man. You know there's going to be activity with Don, whether it's paranormal or not, after that pizza. That's what we like to hear.
You did pizza that night, Nick.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah, we were talking.
Yeah, Don and Nick went about it.
Caesars. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever seen a scary movie, but what's your favorite scary movie if you have seen one?
Alien.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yep. It's number 1. Number 2 is Psycho. Number 3 is The Thing. Number 4 is Halloween.
Where's Cujo at?
Cujo? It's not in my top 20. Sorry.
Whoa.
What's the worst scary movie you've seen?
Oh, that's easy. House of the Dead by the notoriously bad filmmaker Uwe Boll.
My man, Don, your eyes lit up every time someone mentioned a scary movie. I'm so glad you were able to elaborate on that. Oh, you're awesome. What is the best way to cure a paranormal hangover?
Oh, I don't know. Sleeping in.
Sleeping in. You've probably gone to some creepy locations in your paranormal adventure. What's the creepiest one you've ever been to?
Oh man, tough question. Let's see, Cuba Road.
Okay,
that's one of them. and because of I've been hearing about like all kinds of stories about what people have been seeing, and just the idea you can encounter things like that. It's just like, wow.
Yeah. Now, Dawn, you're now the CEO of the Umbrella Corporation. What is your first executive order?
Let's see. First executive order would be to not experiment with the T virus and create Raccoon City outbreaks.
Now, that is what we like to hear.
Yeah, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Been a huge fan since I was 7 when my babysitter introduced me to Resident Evil 2. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so, Brian, if you're watching this.
Third one is the best.
Yeah, I love the remake of the second game. Now, that one is where they really went above and beyond.
Third one is the best.
Yeah, yeah. It has Nemesis in it, my childhood fear. So, there you go.
Okay. Now you probably have a love of some location that you've never been to. Here comes the Gilmore wallet. He's giving you an all-expense paid trip to your dream location. Dawn, where are you going?
Let's see. Either one of two things. Either in the middle of Bray Road or to the Amityville House. Yeah, like Amityville House is just like number 1 on my list of places I want to go to.
I love it.
As far as paranormal stuff.
Yeah, I love it. If you can make one change to a paranormal movie that you love, what movie would it be, and what would you change?
Let's see. Wow. Let's see. One that I definitely love is The Conjuring. I don't know what I would change in that. Let's see. Oh man, this is such a tough question. I don't know. It's just like one of the perfect haunted house films.
Okay. A side question. What did you think, without spoilers, what did you think of the newest Conjuring movie?
Not as good as the first two. Felt like it focused more on, let's see, on like less on Ed and Lorraine and more on the character who was being haunted.
Yeah, I just feel like it wasn't scary. It was just like everything was just like, yeah, it's just.
What was that crazy witch person? Like that was that.
Yeah. Without spoilers,
too far
No
fetched.
spoilers.
Yeah. Without spoilers. Yeah,
That's too far fetched.
Sean's like, who said that? I don't know. All right. What? Number 13. What's one message you have for your paranormal community?
Let's see. One message: don't stop searching for what's out there.
Nice.
That's a perfect way to end it.
Yeah.
You are a paranormal gangster.
Yeah.
A little bat. Yes,
Done.
absolutely.
Save me from the bad.
Nick.
Don's new nickname is Batman, according to Dustin.
Okay. Okay. Now we're
All right, Nick.
All right.
We're
What is
All right,
that?
Batman dress man.
Love
Sean's been looking at that for the past 5 minutes. All right.
Oh.
All right.
All right. Even though Don's the greatest right now, Nick is obviously the man of the hour with them dresses. So many shows, but he didn't tell us about that OnlyFans. All right.
Oh my God.
All right. Nick, 13 fast fire questions as quickly, as thoroughly as possible. I'll give you number 1 and number 13 as a reference point. Number 1. The show Most Haunted is pretty interesting. What is the most haunted location or object you saw when you watched the show?
Oh man, I think it probably would have to be, and this is a place that's actually been featured on a couple of shows, is Chillingham Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Not very much of object wise, but it was just the location itself that was just extremely haunted.
I love it. You are a creative mastermind. What's the most fun green screen you've ever had behind you?
Oh my goodness, I have a lot, but the one that I usually use a lot is oh man, I think it's actually got to be this one, which shows all my international connections I have around the world.
Wow.
So everything that's highlighted in black is where I got connections.
I like that a lot. Wow.
You're
That's
connected.
really cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You got the hook up there. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
For everyone living under a rock, can you remind everyone what IPF stands for?
IPF stands for Illinois Paranormal Force, which obviously.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's exactly the name of our team.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if IPF couldn't stand for that, what would IPF stand for?
Let's see. I guess Illinois Paranormal. I come up with the first two. I'm just trying to think of the.
Yeah. Dresses can't fit in the.
Oh my gosh. It's like I can think of. I'm trying to think of one other word. It's like right at the tip of my tongue. I can't even think of the last word. So might have to come back.
International Porn Fund.
I'm thinking of that pizza flatulation or something, and Erin's just out of. Ooh. Okay.
Oh my god!
I said penis, but no one heard me. So.
Oh wow! Dang, it's getting raunchy in here.
Oh, falling over.
Tom says it's okay. Tom approved. All right. So, besides, of course, the Our Paranormal Podcast and your shows, which are like 90 of them, what's your favorite paranormal show?
You know what? In terms of podcasts, and this is one I haven't even been on. I actually just watched it. It's called Ghost Hunt Down. It's a show from the UK, and it's just a lot of fun. Hasn't been on lately, but something you guys got to check out because it's interesting, it's knowledgeable, and it's funny as hell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nick, you are a very talented man.
To say this podcast. Psst.
Oh, no. I said besides Our Paranormal Podcast and your shows.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I saved you the face. Nick, my friend, you are a very talented man, and that's, of course, why we're putting you in charge here. If you could change one thing about Amityville, what would you change to help protect it?
Honestly, I would probably bring the truth out to what really happened in that location. Because there's just, since the original one that came out back in the 70s, there's been like 12, 13 movies, official movies that is, because there's a lot of rip-offs made, and the story always keeps constantly changing. So I would just stick it to what really happened in that house.
Even the guy's story constantly changed.
Yep.
Which movie is the best?
Of Amityville?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the original one. The original one's definitely the best.
Nothing beats the original.
Yeah.
Don says, let me search the database here. All right. So besides your senses, what's your favorite piece of paranormal equipment?
Well, it's actually similar to kind of Don's. I prefer the EVP recorder, but I also prefer a lot of the old-fashioned type of devices like dowsing rods, pendulums, crystals. So those type of now compass, even a dog whistle.
Okay, I like that. We always say, what's the creepiest location you've ever been to? This, that. How about let's get a little more specific? What's the creepiest spot of a specific location that is the creepiest in your opinion?
Oh boy. I would probably have to say, God, I've been to so many of them. I would probably have to say here in Illinois, which is Joliet Correctional Center. Definitely a place that doesn't disappoint. And certainly Tom and Dustin, you were watching, would agree with me on this. Definitely one of the creepiest locations we've been to.
Yeah, but where specifically at that location? Give us a specific room or a spot.
Oh, to have that's easy. It was actually the boiler room.
Oh, in the attic.
In the attic, yep. Yeah. Like all in the upstairs area. I think it was just so much far more intense and so much more active that it actually kind of freaked us out a little bit. Like we were not expecting the things that we were experiencing that night.
Okay.
That's why I moved you up there first.
Because there are no dresses. All right. Now, listen. You're 12 years old. What was a scary experience you had back in your youth?
You know, because again, I didn't really start investigating until I was 14, but I think really the scariest for me was when, as fascinating as the stuff was, at the same time, it did freak me out, during learning all these studies of these haunted locations and how real they could be. So I think it was just kind of the more realism of that a lot of the stuff actually exists.
Mm. Okay, now you've read a story here and there. What's the scariest story you've ever read?
The scariest story I think it would have to be one of the books that I've kept, which is the Nightmare Society Volume 1. It was just with the nightmarish drawings, and because it also paid tribute to the original Scary Stories trilogy. I think those are probably the scariest books ever. Because they're just so nightmarish in tone with those horrific drawings.
Mm-hmm. And since you like words, how about you describe the paranormal in 3 words?
Oh man, let's see. I would have to say, expect the unexpected.
Let's go.
There you go.
It has been such an honor and a privilege to have you in the paranormal field for 16 years. Can you recall, say, like a standout year in those 16 years, something that really broke out, in your paranormal career?
I think it was about 4 years ago, actually. We really had our very first residential location. And I got to say, unlike the public locations we've been to, it was definitely one of the most intense investigations that I've ever took a part of, because what began as what was supposed to be a residential investigation, it actually became quite dangerous, because it was dangerous and also one of the rarest points where I did indeed witness someone who actually got possessed, and a small exorcism took place.
Okay. Now, welcome everyone. It's Paranormal 101 with Nick here. Not the acronym. Can you describe to our viewers what a ghoul is?
Ghoul, as you can see up here, is actually one of our paranormal groups that runs under the IPF with, again, just like NIPA. The Ghoul group pretty much is kind of each paranormal set has a different role to it. And the Ghoul group is what we consider the student group. So for those who want it, because we've been getting a lot more paranormal recruits more than usual. And for all these new recruits, the Ghoul group is where their paranormal journey begins. Everyone who goes to this group and leaves that group obviously goes through Ghoul first. So they have to basically first go through a few different, paranormal presentations and meetings that we have. And after a few of them, if accepted, they become a ghoul. And ghoul actually stands for Ghost Hunters of the Occult and Universally Lost.
I love it. And, with that, all the shows, all the magic that you've created over these 16 years, what's one message you have for that paranormal community that you've been able to foster?
Well, I know I'm getting this from a show, but it's just a line I just enjoy so much. The truth is out there.
Hey, nice.
We love it, Nick.
Nick,
we love it.
You got one question wrong, brother.
Which one?
You said your most memorable. What was the question? The most in the 16 years you've been in the paranormal. What was the most memorable moment of your career? That was the question. The correct answer would have been being a guest on Our Paranormal Podcast.
I would have said it was meeting me. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Other than Our Paranormal Podcast.
Yeah, see. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, well, I'll let you slide.
Yeah. I'm joking.
Tom.
All eyes on you.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing, my friend?
Doing good.
You doing good?
Yeah, feeling good.
What are you drinking there in that cup, my friend? What are you doing?
This cup here?
Yeah. What are you sipping on?
Coffee.
Keeps it nice and warm.
Is it
I
on
like
road
that.
roast?
On road roast?
What kind of coffee is that, Mike? Tom, what kind of coffee is that?
It's Walmart coffee, I guess.
It's Walmart coffee.
Oh, you don't have the haunted road roast? Helps you
Oh,
with
I got
those?
that. That's for special occasions on the weekends.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This isn't a special occasion. I understand.
Yeah,
All right,
what? Tom.
Tom. All right.
I'm
All right.
At least
I'm
lied.
drinking Walmart. Yeah.
All right, Tom, you're drinking the Walmart roast. We just got roasted. Okay, I'll give you number 1 and number 13 as a reference point, okay?
All right.
All right. My man. All right. Number 1. What does the paranormal mean to you?
Paranormal is searching for the truth.
And speaking of searching for the truth, you were searching at a Paracon and you met Shawn. And what's the most embarrassing story you have of Shawn?
Probably his I don't have any embarrassing moments with Shawn. Shawn's always been pretty cool. He's a little clumsy at times, but other than that, he's fine.
Okay, let me flip it. What's your favorite memory with Shawn?
Probably when we took the tour around Cleveland and we went to the Franklin Castle and the Christmas Story House. That was kind of fun.
That was fun. Got some good Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
We went to the Wiccan store.
That was like right in the middle of the pandemic too, and we were sitting in a restaurant without masks, and that was probably pretty scary, actually.
Yeah. I'll just have to cut out all the scariest moments here and just lose 6 questions. Who's your favorite Ghostbuster?
My favorite Ghostbuster, me.
That's what we like to hear before all the shows. Tom, I like it. You've been on a lot of investigations, and a lot of people say, there's a scary sound here or there. But for you, because you've been in the field for so long, what was the scariest moment on one of your investigations?
Probably the apparition of a little girl at the Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, Illinois.
Okay.
The little girl materialized out of a dark mist, kind of like a fog, and she materialized into a little girl. It's been documented in a book.
I mean, that's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty profound.
A walk in the shadows.
A walk in the shadows. The paranormal itself is pretty profound. How would you describe it in 3 words?
I would say trust your instincts.
I like that a lot. You were alluding to earlier about the power of free time. Can you tell us about the power of free time and enjoying these opportunities to go to the Paracons?
The power of the free time? You mean forced to have free time when you lose a job and then you're trying to search for another one for over a year? Trying to get the money together to go, and it's always nice when you go with a group. It saves a little bit of money. And I'm always one to willing to drive. That Nick can vouch for that. Dustin can vouch for that. Don, I think I drove Don on a couple of adventures. I think we went to Paracon down in Central Illinois.
I like that a lot. So besides your senses and besides the audio recorders and whatnot, what's your favorite piece of paranormal equipment?
I think all the paranormal equipment is gadgets, basically. You can get what you want to get out of whatever gadget you're using, but I think the most important thing is you trust your feelings on your own self.
All right. Tinson, Ohio.
Yeah.
Before any ghost shows were on, producer comes up to you and says, Tom, I want you to host the first ever paranormal show. What would the name of that show be?
Oh, let's see. That's a good one. Of course, I wouldn't want to use my name. That would sound conceited. I would say Search of the Truth.
I like that a lot.
That's a good name. I like that too.
Now, Don over there has seen a lot of scary movies and probably a bunch of scary movies with a bunch of haunted objects. All right, Tom. Now you are painting a haunted painting.
Mm-hmm.
What would the painting be of?
A stream of water with a lightning bolt going down to it.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Any significance behind that?
Mm-hmm. Because I believe, as opposed to the word ghost, I believe in energy more than the actual existence of ghosts. And I believe energy can be retransmitted and moved around and stored. So that's why I kind of say that energy is probably what I would more believe than actual saying, oh, I saw a ghost.
Okay. So you painting that haunted painting was kind of a hypothetical. So what was the most haunted object that you've encountered over the years?
Most haunted object. You mean that I would experience by touching or
you just encountered over your paranormal adventure that you've come in contact with?
I would say the one object that I collected, I still haven't brought into my house. And that's a brick from a foundation at Bachelor's Grove Cemetery when we were doing an investigation over a year ago. And it's still sitting in my trunk of my car. I have not brought it in the house.
Okay. Wow, that's
something about that tells me just to leave it outside, not to bring it in yet.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, Don wants to just jump on that and make a scary movie all about the brick. Hey, I mean, speaking of kind of like, scary stories here, you got any odd stories involving the paranormal and bodily functions?
And bodily functions?
Yeah.
Wow. I'd say when you're spending hours in a house just walking around and up and down stairs, you generate enough thirst to drink a lot of water, a lot of pop, and then the lack of a public restroom is kind of out there. So I would say that that's pretty scary to go around and want to relieve yourself and know where to go.
Okay. Yeah. No.
At least Brian's never left you in a haunted nunnery when you had to pee before.
Hey,
you know what they say, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
Yeah, and I had to get out of there, Erin. You need to wait your turn because Tom already roasted me. Now you're roasting me. Come on, guys.
Occupied.
Occupied, and I was out. All right. Speaking of crazy stories, like crazy, I gotta pee. What's the craziest cemetery experience you have?
That's a good one. That happened outside in a cemetery outside Tiffin, actually. It was one of our little adventures. We weren't drinking on this one. We just kind of went out to hang out. And would just kind of walk around. There were two of us driving two separate cars, and we got out of the first car, and we started to walk towards the start of the cemetery. And the other car contained a friend. He was driving by himself. And then he started to follow us and went ahead of us and went into the cemetery, and we were following behind him. Next thing we know, a light came on in his car, and he was in his car. And then we turned around and it says, who are we following into the cemetery? So that was an interesting one. And both of us to this day can't figure that one out.
Oh, yeah.
So that was interesting.
That is a kind of spooky message there. Now for number 13, not so spooky, but what would be your message to your paranormal community?
Oh, I think I've already said it. Trust your feelings. Your best instrument is yourself.
Oh,
that's what we like to hear, Tom. Keeping it simple and keeping it grounded.
Hi, Don.
Hey. Hey,
All
sorry.
right, Aaron.
Cat is like down. He's like roaming around here. Trying to make sure she doesn't jump on my lap or anything.
Oh, Mabel's still there?
No. Your cat, Slinky.
Oh, my cat, Slinky. Yeah, she can be a troublemaker.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure she doesn't jump on my lap and jump on the counter or something.
Is he downstairs in your house?
What's that?
She went away.
He's over by your house downstairs?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, he's at my house. He's downstairs in the kitchen. I'm in my room. And the reason why he came over tonight for this is he doesn't – he used to have the browsers for StreamYard, but now he has the only browser that doesn't. That's Firefox. So Firefox does not support StreamYard. So he had to come over to my house, and he's borrowing my laptop to be on the show.
Well, Dustin and I almost came over
That
to your
was
house
nice.
because I was thinking the exact same thing. I don't know if my phone would handle StreamYard. So you almost had two more people over your house tonight for this.
Party at Nick's house.
I figured you probably wanted to say hi to Dustin anyway, so.
Yeah, I couldn't do this through my phone because my battery is not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of parties, Aaron is now going to be a party because
save the best for last.
Save the best for last.
All eyes on you.
Ooh, I like that, Shawn.
Nervous.
All right, Aaron. I'll give you number 1 and number 13 for a reference point. There's only one rule: don't roast me. Are you ready?
I'll try.
I'll try. It's hard, but I'll try. Okay. Number 1, favorite. Oh, what is this? So you've been on some, investigations that you could technically call investigations, but you've alluded to in the past that you've done so many adventures that might not be like quote unquote investigations. What's your favorite non quote unquote investigation that you've conducted?
Okay. So everything at my grandma's house is just crazy. And she would never consent to having people come in, but somebody needs to go in there and investigate, because there's so much activity in her house and in her woods.
Why are you holding out on us?
I don't know. I mean, me and my sons have done stuff at her house, but there's so much, I get pushed while I'm sleeping. If I don't sleep on my back, I'll get pushed. It's just insane at my grandma's house. And she even knows it, but she would never ever have anybody come in her house. And it's just it's wild, and so that's my craziest adventure.
Okay,
it's been forever. It's been my lifelong adventure.
Yeah. That is true. Now describe the paranormal 3 words for you. And you can't use the word bat. Or dress.
Or blue balls.
Cat balls.
Fascinating, elusive, and beautiful.
There you
I love that.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of something beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. The Gilmore wallet comes out again.
Oh, no.
What location would you love Shawn to purchase for you that you can take care of and maintain for all of us to enjoy?
Whoa.
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Bucket list places would be Tower of London type places, but I don't think his wallet's that big. So
that's preserved.
or
I like that one.
Paris catacombs or something. I don't think those are available for purchase.
Oh,
So,
you don't know the size of Shawn's wallet.
Oh, well,
You know
then, yeah, there you go.
That's what she
All right. Okay, we're going back to that stuff. All right, now
Or something in New Orleans, like the Myrtles plantation.
Okay. Shawn will buy you all that. Don't worry.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, what is your favorite moment during a paranormal investigation?
The bat.
No, that's the worst part. When everybody's like thinking that nothing's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden something happens. Like just random stuff, like at the Gill House when I was just walking and like the hallway light started to flicker, and I saw like full body apparition, and I was like, "Come here, Shawn," and he like came into the dining room. And I was like, I just put him in, like, just moved his body. And he was like, whoa, there's so much. There's a woman, like, there's so much of a woman right here. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Because I saw a full body apparition of a woman. Mm-hmm. And it's the validation of stuff that you see or you feel. And
that's interesting. I haven't heard you say that story.
Really?
Was it the same type of dress that I saw?
Yes. She had the sleeves and everything, and she had this.
I should have said that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think I did, but I think there was not that dress, but I think there was just so much going on, like at the moment, and then like when we were in the library, like the woman in the library, she was like, she's like a housekeeper, and so I was like, it wasn't even like a person that lived at I guess she lived at the Gill House, but she was like a housekeeper. So like the reactions that me and Nick were getting in the library were from the same woman, but it was like she's just trying to like oversee everything, and she had the puffy sleeves and the apron type
thing. Gave me verification of what I saw. I mean, I was trying to debunk it so bad.
No.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I saw her, Shawn felt her. And I like it because I like.
Did you see an outline ahead or anything?
No, I saw her full everything. Like it was gray with like pinstripes and everything. Like, well, it's like white and then gray pinstripes.
That was in the dining room, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's why I pulled you and I just put you, like I was like, and you validated what I saw, because like I don't know if I'm like young in this or whatever, because I'm not young, but I still like feeling validated for what I see and what I feel, so I don't feel like I'm crazy. And yeah, like, so like Shawn validated it because he was like, oh my gosh, like there's a woman in here. And I was like, yes, like I'm not just seeing a person.
All right. So what's the most frightening skinwalker experience you had?
All right. Okay. So I used to pace outside my window when I was little, because I lived with my grandparents, and it just used to pace outside my window. And then when I saw Harry Potter, the one with the Prisoner of Azkaban, and where like with the werewolves and everything. And that is seriously like the most accurate description of what like they look like. And I was absolutely terrified, like almost like as an adult person, like almost like fetal position, like almost like peeing myself, because I was so scared, because that's what I saw when I was little, like pacing outside my window.
Okay. Besides this episode, and since you're one of the largest parts of our community, what's your favorite Our Paranormal Podcast episode?
This one.
This one. Anyone that I'm commenting on, like, oh yeah.
I figured.
Gotcha. What's the craziest paranormal photo you've ever seen?
I don't know. I guess I'll have to see what the nunnery photos look like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, what'd you see at the nunnery?
Remember when I came back in there? And I was, I have to see. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I know, actually. My son Dylan, he always has little lights around him when I take photos of him.
That is creepy. Now imagine this creepy situation. You're trapped in the catacombs under France. What 3 investigators would you take to help you get out?
Give me that much.
Shawn, Bryan.
Yeah.
I'd leave you. Okay.
What?
Hey, if I left you when you went to pee,
look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
that's
the
true.
wall.
So maybe never mind. Not you.
You'd be like, look at that room with the walls of body.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't
See that
pee
wall
on the
that's
bed.
bleeding?
Why don't you? Why don't you go take some
You
photos?
see that flaming car over there? I'm gonna just run the other way.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing
maybe
I didn't
not.
have
Dawn's like, yeah, I've seen that movie.
And in fact, you know what? Bring this haunted doll with you too.
Oh yeah. No.
All right, so you're bringing Shawn and who else?
Shawn. Well, no, I would bring Bryan because he is totally organized. So he would have a map.
That's true. I had the itinerary planned out
Right.
for a second.
So
I'll at least have the map.
exactly. And I
So how about that third
I
person?
would bring Don to fight off the bats.
That's what we like.
What? Not me.
And besides, Dawn's seen this movie.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and he's what was that movie like 28 below?
He
or- what
likes
is it?
he likes
The
so
hell?
so
What is it?
so
The hell
above
below or
so
something?
below.
That's above, far below.
Yes. Yeah.
And Dawn probably shares the same sentiment as me. It's a great movie until the end, and it was a stupid ending. All right.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, what's your one tip you can give a new investigator that's about to conduct their first investigation?
Stay calm and keep your mind open.
Stay calm. All right. Oh wait, real quick.
Oh my God!
Nice.
Look at this.
What is this?
Whoa.
This is creepy.
That's
Yes, she
very
is.
creepy.
And then look at this.
Yeah.
We're talking about the creepy catacombs. I had to just pull it up there.
I got
All
this in my living room right now.
All right.
I got this for $5.
$5.
Where? That's
It's,
awesome.
Silcon down in what's the name of that town? Silcon.
What is? Which
Where
town?
was this? Huh?
Which town?
Silcon. When we went to Silcon.
Oh, Mattoon.
Mattoon.
Mattoon, that's
I got down in Mattoon. Paid $5 for her.
$5.
And she's got little feet too. See?
All right.
Can you see that? Yeah. Ugly little feet.
All right. So that was your one tip. If you had your own paranormal show called Nick's Paranormal Dress, what would it be about? What would your paranormal show be about?
If it was called Nick's Paranormal Dress, it would be about it would be about fashion and the paranormal.
That's what we like to hear. No bats allowed, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, no bats allowed.
Now, besides your senses, what's your favorite piece of paranormal equipment?
Well, I have to have my crystal with me, and my pendulum and EVP. I think EVP, like something to get EVPs.
I like that. Now, let's take a quick survey. Who has known Shawn the longest? Oh, Erin, it's you. Now, Erin, what is the most fun and embarrassing moment you have with Shawn that you can share with us?
Embarrassing? I will never tell embarrassing stories.
Okay, well, tell us a fun moment or something.
Okay.
A real memorable experience with Shawn.
I can tell you the first time I ever met Shawn.
Oh, what was it?
Okay,
Look
so
at Shawn's face.
I wish I could see.
Oh my gosh!
so because Shawn always had really long hair, like long hair, like real long hair. He had great hair, like
my
you'd be
great
jealous.
hair. Oh
You'd
wow!
be jealous of it, right?
Oh my gosh!
I was
So. I mean, I don't know about that, but he had he was cute.
But
he had really long hair. And so I was because he's older than me, but I was at the football game. And like me and my friends were like under the bleachers hanging out at the football game. And him and his friends were trying to sneak into the football game.
No, Shawn. Shawn. You got a support team, homie.
And
got that long, cute hair. Ooh,
and he had leather jackets.
Wow.
Yeah, it was it was the early '90s, so leather jackets, long hair, like
okay.
Nirvana T-shirt or something. I don't even know.
Wow, this is oddly specific. Look at
yeah,
this.
I don't know. I don't know
Long
if it was a
hair,
Nirvana
the flannel
T-shirt. It was
shirt
probably
on my
90s
way.
T-shirt, but
wow.
I'm sure I had the flannel shirt around my waist.
oh yeah, definitely flannel shirt.
I gotta write this in my diary. Go ahead, keep describing, please.
But so he's like, and all my friends were like, no, don't talk to them, and I was like, they want to get in the game, fuck that. So like I snuck them in the game, and ever since then,
my goodness,
we are friends. I snuck him in the fence.
Snuck him in the fence. Don's already trying to write the plot for the Grace Part 3 or something.
Yep.
This is that was a monumental moment.
It was. It was life changing.
What's
I pick up the screenplay now.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I'm doing it on my phone now.
Yeah. He's got the notes open and everything. Monumental moment there. What's a monumental message that you want to share with your paranormal community for number 13?
Are you serious? Just don't keep your eyes and ears and your heart and your spirit open, and don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself.
I believe I can fly.
I like that a lot. I really do. Everyone, we have been looking at this for the last I don't know how long. This is a beautiful sight too.
That is a
beautiful sight.
Hey, Shawn.
Severed head. We've got Shawn over here.
Creepy head,
looking
severed
fresh. Not as fresh as that long hair.
This
nice
luxurious,
90s
beautiful
Shawn. Leather jacket, Nirvana shirt.
It's probably 9 Inch Nails. I probably had the
9
Nirvana
inch
shirt on.
nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Shawn Gilmore, 9 inches. 9 inch nails.
9 inches.
Whoa. Don, did you say that? Did you say that, Don?
Hey, Shawn, you want to see
Don,
really
not
scary?
that kind of movie.
Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue.
The podcast, Brian.
What?
Thomas got his cat.
What was a Gorilla Glue part of? Wasn't that something?
So, oh my gosh. I mean, it was part of a joke that came across from another show. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show Stirring the Pot with the 3 J's. You guys know LEP Productions. Don knows what I'm talking about. And they started joking about, they said something about Gorilla Glue, and I said something like, what? Gorilla Glue is usually the best, but usually only the way I use it. And it wasn't supposed to mean anything. I was just joking. And they're like, what's, I'm almost afraid to ask how Nick uses Gorilla Glue. And since then, we've been joking around in that with the Paranormal United Network. In fact, we have a family chat, and we have a professional chat, and we have the family chat, which is kind of more of the fun chat, and we make different nicknames. And my nickname is now Gorilla Glue Boy.
Oh, okay. That's your nickname was Sprite Man.
Well, here's the funny thing. I mean, despite all these jokes about Gorilla Glue, see, if I had more to say about Gorilla Glue, I definitely would, but I've never really used it, actually. You know,
Gorilla Glue is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really used Gorilla Glue on. I mean, I've always used Crazy Glue, Super Glue, Elmer's Glue, and not on dresses.
It works on dresses too.
Yeah, dresses.
No one was thinking that but you, Nick.
Yep. What is with your fascination with dresses?
Yeah.
I wasn't the one who brought it up. It was
feeling a little guilty over here.
Yep.
Hey, well, wait a minute. We're talking about. Well, here's a question for you. If we're talking about dresses, then why is Shawn in the dress?
Yeah, just trying it on, I guess.
Wait a minute, what was that?
Because Shawn looks good in purple.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're picturing Shawn in that dress. I'm just picturing him in that leather jacket, 9-inch nails, long hair.
Do you have any pictures? I wish you had pictures.
Maybe
I'd be sneaking him under the fence too. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
See, not to mention he's probably like a can of Gorilla Glue or something to sponsor.
Wow. Here, let me see if I can find something here.
Oh, geez.
So
I'm kind of scared now.
No, and then I left the football game. I left my friends and left with him and his friends. It was great. And ever since then, we were best friends.
Yeah, we were good friends for a long
Hey,
time.
Tom, you forgot to mention one other best moment with Shawn is when you almost locked him in one of the cells at Mansfield. We were walking to one of the, we were walking along one of the east, the tiers, and they had like those solitary confinement ones. And Tom, why don't you carry on the rest of it? I thought I'd start you out. You tell them what happened.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, okay, fine. So we look at these doors and like saying, are these like supposed to be solitary confinement doors? and Shawn was going in, and Tom's like, oh, I don't know. Let's check it out. He tries closing the door on Shawn. He almost trapped Shawn. He literally almost became an inmate at Mansfield Reformatory.
In solitary.
Hey, if it was still an active prison, oh boy, there'd be an inmate there who certainly would want him to wear a dress.
Yeah, bring back that long hair.
With the long hair, the 9-inch nails.
Let's see what do I got? Hold on.
Shawn, take me back to the 90s, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I just read like the did that person have solitary confinement, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, Mansfield.
I can't even go in there. I can't even go in there solitary confinement in Mansfield.
Don't get too close to the glass, Clarice.
Oh.
Hello, Clay.
God's known for.
How are you today?
How did you do that? It was perfect.
I feel like we need a whole episode with just Dawn dissecting all these crazy, scary movies.
Right?
That's a real treat.
That's just one of many voices I'm capable of doing.
Oh my god!
One of many.
Yeah.
One of many.
Nick loves the Pennywise voice.
Ooh, let's hear that.
No.
Oh, okay. We all float down here. Yes, we do.
I like it.
All right.
I like that a lot.
I can't read Stephen King. I read The Shining. I got through 3 chapters of that, and I threw it across my room. And the same with it. I got through like a couple chapters and threw it. I was like, I can't do it.
I was reading it when I was 11.
Oh my god!
I can't. Can't do it.
Wow.
Oh man,
I was
and
not reading a lot.
he was a brilliant writer. That's what he just has written. So many good stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like too many to count, and majority of which have been adapted to film and into TV series.
Have you read The Shining?
Oh yeah,
The Shining scared
All
right, guys.
And he did his job well.
Yeah.
Guys,
there's one book that I remember back reading when I was in high school. It was called The Watcher in the Woods. And it has to do with a parallel dimension. And it's so irrelevant to everything that we're doing today that, are we looking at the past? Are we looking at the future? One of those deals. And I would recommend you reading The Watchers in the Woods. It's a real cool book.
I'm gonna check that out.
I'll look into it.
Hey guys,
interesting.
We're already past 10 o'clock.
They made
I want
it
to do
into
this
a
real quick.
Disney movie a while ago, but the movie didn't really give the book a chance. But the book is really good.
I'll definitely consider looking into it.
Yeah.
I'll kindle it tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
When we die, Pittsburgh.
Oh God, please! I don't want to go to Pittsburgh.
You mean it for good or for bad? My brother would want that kind of.
Right?
I don't want to go to Pittsburgh.
Oh man! But here,
I
real
didn't know
quick,
we go to Pittsburgh when we die.
you guys asked for it. Okay. Now this one is crazy because you're gonna see two images of me, but only one of them is me.
Oh
man!
Here we
Ready?
go.
Doppelgangers.
Oh.
That's me and my dad in San Diego. I was 16, I believe.
Alice in Chains.
Yep.
Yeah.
All you're missing is the leather jacket.
Yeah. Well, I was in San Diego. You don't wear a jacket.
Oh
there.
yeah.
And the 9 Inch Nails. You forgot the 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, on that trip, I had a Maryland Mansion shirt. It said, "I'm the god of fuck" on the back of it.
Yes, I had that shirt too. I remember that shirt.
Well, let me tell you, I had the bright idea to wear it to the airport on the way home.
Oh my God.
I almost wasn't allowed on the plane.
Yes, I forgot. This is the best shirt ever.
Hey, Sean, all I just got to say is, I'm sorry.
Here, so real quick, guys, real quick. This does not have to do with the Monroe house, but this has to do with my house. The Gill House. Sorry, I just recently got this. I literally just got it last weekend. Okay, this is the mini ink box. Okay, this is a spirit box. Okay, you control how fast. It sounds like a hacked radio, except you have this knob here where you can control how fast it sweeps through the stations. So I was gonna make like a quick little like video of my house. Like I just wanted to show like how fast it could go. Well, I did this real quick video and I didn't ask any questions. I had no intentions of wanting communication at all. This is what happened. Listen again.
Sounds like it's like saying, "Hey you."
Hey you, in a woman's voice.
Yeah, sounded like it.
There's a woman's spirit in my house. There is. We've proven it. And I didn't ask for any communication. And she's just like, "Hey you." I don't know if she's saying "Hey you" like she wants like to talk to me, or "Hey you" like saying hi.
Maybe
that's
she's
crazy.
singing
Like
Pink Floyd.
Spirit box, is that called again?
This is the mini ink MIB box. You can get it through Austin Maynard with yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I like it a lot. It's even got a flashlight.
Huh, interesting.
So but yeah, I just thought it was crazy. Like seriously, that video is 100% unedited. I didn't even clip it. Like that's how short the video was. That was it. I played it back. So I was gonna go and I was gonna do something like, "Hey, check out this cool radio I got," and then boom.
And I was like, man, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to share this just on a stupid Facebook post. I'm sharing this on the podcast.
That's
Because that is freaking sweet. I didn't even ask for it.
That's
And
like
boom.
the 3000 lumens ultraviolet light that I brought to the Gill House.
Right.
I was analyzing walls and everything else.
Awesome.
Right. And also, guys, I want to bring up one more thing. Our friends from Paranormal Quest, we actually just had Steve Hummel on for his Archives of the Afterlife Museum on. Well, his paranormal team, Paranormal Quest, they are actually dropping a brand new video this weekend on YouTube on the Gill House.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Nice.
So guys, make sure to check that out. I mean, they didn't ask for me to plug it or anything. I just thought it was pretty cool that that we're talking about the Gill House tonight.
Yeah.
And they're dropping their new video this weekend. So that's
Wow.
that's some pretty cool. What's the word Brian likes? Serendipity.
Serendipity. Synchronicity.
Synchronicity. Yes.
Synchronicity. Yeah.
Synchronicity. Yes. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got to go back to Ohio to the Gill House to bring Brian next time.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely going
We gotta
back.
make a trip to Chicago.
Oh, we definitely need to make. We need to go to Chicago, and we need to go to that
Bachelor's
Grove Cemetery. And
yeah, but I want to go to the
I'm gonna go to that place where you saw the girl.
the house. Why
house?
why am I drawing a blank? The house.
Oh, the H.H. Holmes?
Yes.
Well, you have to remember. I mean, there's the murder castle no longer exists. What's there now is actually a retirement home because they tore the murder castle down. I think it was back in the 1930s because back then they prevented it from becoming a tourist attraction because of what happened there. So
they had the fire and it burned.
Yeah, they had the fire, which was assumed to be vandalism. So it didn't matter because they were going to tear it down anyway. So since
it's on government property too.
Yeah, I know that they like what you were saying, like they put the post office and the parking lot and everything over half of it.
Post office, retirement home. So but they still get a lot of activity in that area.
And also the neighborhood isn't known to be one of the better neighborhoods to go to in Chicago. We would probably have to bring a police escort with us.
I'm not worried about that.
I'm
good in the hood.
There's places like that in Cleveland that
it could catch all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, so we stopped at the Franklin Castle. Honestly, that's not the most friendliest of neighborhoods.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough over there.
Actually,
the homeless people were pretty friendly when they walked by.
Yeah, well, right next door is the homeless shelter, and usually, those people, the people there are usually really friendly. Actually, the first time I stopped by there, like we did, like I stopped by there, took some pictures. I was actually just after there was a day after a concert. I had slept over at a friend's house that lives literally a block away from there, and I was like, "Hey, I'm right here. I'm gonna stop by and take some pictures and whatever." And so I was there. I was like, just like walking around, and this guy pulls up, and this like big like old like Lincoln or something. I don't know what it was, but he's like old guy. He had a hat on. And he's like, "Hey, do you know so-and-so?" I'm like, "No, I don't live around here." And he's like, "Oh." He's like, "Isn't that the shelter right there?" I was like, "That right there?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, that's the Franklin Castle. Have you heard of it?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard of the Franklin Castle, whatever." And then I was like, "I think the place you're looking for is over there." And so...
A woman in a car that almost hit us on the street when she was trying to find the homeless shelter?
Yes.
The car?
But this is
yeah.
This is
it was.
But hold on, wait, listen. I'm talking to this guy. He's like, "Hey, I really need to find my friend. Hey, he's in trouble. He needs my help." And it turned out this guy was a priest. And he's like, "This guy needs my help. I really need to find him, whatever." And I'm like, "Okay." So he asked me to go into the shelter and find the guy. So I didn't know how the frick to get in this place. I'm like walking around this house, and I'm like, I end up at like this door, and it must have been, it was to the kitchen, and I'm like, poke my head in the door. I'm like, "Hey," It was so awkward and weird, and like the house is just as creepy as the Franklin Castle inside of it. It's like really beautiful. It's not as creepy as one would think. This house next door, it was. I mean, it's a homeless shelter. It was like you didn't want. I don't know. It's creepy. It was. It wasn't because it wasn't creepy because it's a homeless shelter, but it was creepy.
The next door house is really creepy.
And so I don't know. Either way, I ended up like kind of like going into the kitchen and talking to someone that worked there. And it was just like a little side adventure I had on my little Franklin Castle adventure. So, but they were really nice. And I was able, when I was walking around the outside, I was like, hey, do you guys know so-and-so? I don't know the guy's name now. And they're like, oh, what? No, but you know what? If he's here, he's probably inside. I was like, okay.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, how do you go inside? And they just like pointed at the house. I'm like, well, duh. I go to the house. Okay.
You go up and knock on the door.
Well, I didn't know what door to go to, and I was like standing kind of like in the back area. So I went to the first
when we
door.
were up there, he wasn't at the house because he was up in Put in Bay Island. He does the tours up there.
He does. Actually, he just made a post yesterday, guys. Go to the if you're in the Ohio area, you go to Put in Bay, go to the Put in Bay and go on the ghost tour there.
That's got to be really cool.
Oh,
but a lot of times you go to Put in Bay, it's just like for a day trip because you got to take the ferry over.
Yeah.
But you got to catch the ferry before it gets dark, and you're not allowed on the island unless you got a place to stay. So that's the weird part of going to Put in Bay. You have to make reservations at the hotel, take the ferry across, and you stay on the island.
You could go for like during the day. You just don't want to get stuck there at night after the ferry stops.
No, but that's when it lightens up at night, man.
I know.
I used to take the Tin Goose from Sandusky over to Put in Bay.
It's a party over there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Unfortunately, Don, he actually has to get going because again, he's at my house. So, but I just wanted to say two quick things for Don just before he goes. First off, all this talk we've had about bats, by the way. A few nights ago, we were at the Crown Point Jail filming an investigation, and Don happened to tell me he encountered a few bats in the jail.
Yep. They always know.
Oh, wow.
So no wonder why Dustin is calling Dustin saying Don's new nickname is Batman.
And here comes a DC lawsuit. Now.
Well, the other thing I just wanted to say is, as most of you guys, this was Don's first time ever being on a paranormal talk show. So, Don, I got a question for you quickly, and you too, Aaron. But Don, I got a question for you. How did it feel being on your very first paranormal talk show?
Awesome.
Thank you, Don.
Really enjoyed talking on here.
Thank you. We enjoyed having you. We're honored to pop your cherry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, Don, you're a savage, and
I had to word it that way.
Just the way that you answered all the questions, and you're just phenomenal. And I feel like we could have another show that's just picking your brain for 3 hours. So I feel like when you can leave a podcast and one of your guests, you're just like, we could have a show just the entirety with him for like way over the time limit, just picking your brain about all the knowledge and experiences. That's how you know you have a good guest. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time.
Oh, I'm glad to be on here.
Yeah.
Yep. So, guys, thanks for having me on here.
Hey, Don, thank you for coming on, brother.
Bye, Don.
And thank you for coming on the investigation.
Thank you for saving me from bats.
We seriously need to make it happen again.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again soon.
It was my first time on a paranormal podcast too, Don. So we were together in this.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, but I wouldn't feel right saying that to you. So I'm glad to be here for
Oh. Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
Brian's face.
Oh. Dang. Well, it was great being on here. Take care.
Well, I gotta get out of here now.
What a way!
Thank you for coming on, brother. With this show, we're having so much fun. Like we've got off topic like so much. There's really so much more.
Have we even talked about the Gill House?
Well, I don't even know if we talked a lot about the paranormal, to be honest. there's definitely a lot of talk of balls and.
I'll be right back.
Balls
I gotta
and cherries.
put Don out. I'll be right back.
All right. So, but man, it's been a fun night. That's for sure.
Yes.
With Tom, you came all the way out to Ohio with friends for the Ohio State Reformatory Parapsychon.
Nice.
And the investigation was kind of like an extra treat. I'm so glad that we were able to work that out. With your trip, the OSR Parapsychon, what was your favorite part of the Parapsychon?
Just meeting up with everybody was fun. You know, I mean, Nick had run a little late because he left on Saturday, so he didn't make it up in time to do anything on Saturday. So just to have someone to walk around with was a lot of fun.
Definitely. The Parapsychon, they always do a really good job. The Tri-C Ghost Hunters always puts on a good event. So
and then the one picture I took, when I looked at it when I got home, it's got a handprint on the wall. You know, the loft up there by the chapel?
Yeah.
And I took a picture up the stairway to the loft, and then you could clearly see a handprint on the wall on the top of the staircase. I'll have to send you that, or go back and look at my pictures. You could clearly see the handprint on it. And those are the stairs that were closed off during the PsychCon. And I just took the camera and just shot it up the stairs. I did not see that handprint or notice that handprint until after I got home and I was looking through all the pictures.
Yeah.
That was kind of wild. And I kind of like to know if that was just somebody did that handprint just for something that people look at when they look up the stairs. I don't know.
Which?
You know the loft up by the chapel in Mansfield?
Yeah.
They got the little loft that goes up there, but they got the staircase, but it's always roped off because they don't allow anybody to go up in that small little loft. But then when I took the camera, I took a picture up the loft. Up on the wall, there was a handprint on the wall, or if it was glass, I don't even know, because I was never up there. But you could clearly see a handprint on the wall. Go back and look at my pictures that I posted from the PsychCon, and you'll see the one I'm talking about. And you tell me what you think.
What are we talking about?
Oh.
What is this?
That's interesting.
Did you see it? Do you see it?
I'm looking at it here. I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
No, after I got home from the PsychCon, when we were in Mansfield, that I was taking pictures, walking around, and I took a picture going up the stairway to the loft by the chapel. And then if you can zoom in that picture, there's a handprint on the wall on the top of the stairs.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, now that you say that, I didn't. Wow.
I didn't notice that until I got home when I was looking at the pictures on my bigger computer. But there's clearly a handprint on the wall up there.
You know what? You should
definitely a handprint.
With your permission, I could send it to Greg Ficetic and see if he has an explanation for the handprint.
Sure, go ahead. And let me know.
I would. I certainly would.
I'll do it because that's. I mean, it's creepy as heck, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Did you notice that when I posted those pictures originally? I didn't even notice it until I got home and I saw it on the bigger screen.
See if there's anybody still watching.
And that's the loft going up by the chapel. That's closed off, and you can't go up there.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And if it was somebody's handprint on a glass, you know, you would think someone who would just had to put that there. It wouldn't have stayed up there that long. And we were up there in that area, and I just took the camera and snapped up that thing. No one was up there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, have somebody look at that, and you know, you could tell it's the original picture.
Well, Greg Ficetic, he's the founder of, or one of the founders of Tri-C Paranormal, and he actually heads a lot of the paranormal investigations at that at OSR. So he's a good person to send that to and see if he can
send it to him.
See what
if they put that for show or if it's actually something paranormal.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Nick, what was your favorite part of the weekend?
I think it was just the fact that, one reason for sure is just to finally be back and getting out on these trips, after a whole year of basically dormancy because of the COVID. It was such a good feeling to finally be out and back out, not only at these locations, ones we've been to before, new locations, but also, finally meeting everybody. And again, new faces as well. I mean, it was just such a I don't even really have the words to describe it. To me, it was just an unbelievable feeling. I mean, at one point, I actually kind of punched myself in the chest to really kind of think, am I really seeing this? Am I actually awake for this? And when I heard myself, I'm like, yep, it's real.
Yeah.
And no, I was not wearing a dress either during that time.
I was curious. Questions have been answered.
Erin, you went to the Parapsychon and you did the investigation too. What was your favorite part of the weekend there?
My favorite part of the weekend?
Well, other than the investigation, because we're talking about the Parapsychon.
Okay, well, so I was really excited to see the Ghost Brothers, right?
Yeah, they're awesome.
And I'm so like shy. I went to walk up there and I was gonna get in line, and then I was like, the anxiety just took over and I was like, I can't do it. And I just walked away. So I went there to meet them and I didn't even meet them, but I got to see them. So
you have to be close.
I saw them. That was good enough.
I walked in the same time Ben Hansen walked in, and I'm walking alongside of him, and I'm just talking to him walking down the hallway.
Nice.
See,
That's what's cool about those. You go to those cons, you can end up talking to just BSing with anyone. And it's,
Yeah, that's cool.
And of course, we know Dave Schrader real well because he's a regular in Chicago. Yeah.
We never got to, even though we were there, I never got to I didn't get to see Dave Schrader, sadly. So,
really?
What? I mean, when we walked over to the vendor tables of where the Ghost Brothers, crew from Kindred Spirits, I was expecting Dave Schrader was going to be it, but he was not at his table. So sadly, we got to see everybody else, but sadly, we never got to see Dave.
See, for me, with being at the con, it's nice, but. All right. See, I have a thing being in crowds. I'm not a big fan of big crowds, and then this being the first big crowd since COVID. I was there and I was going down where the cell block where they had they had the celebrity tables down the cell block, and they also had all these other tables and whatnot set up, and it was just so crowded you could barely move, and it was all my anxiety was just through the roof.
I don't know why they picked solitary.
By the time I got to where the line was with the celebrities, I was like, I'm not standing in that line. I'm done. I had to get away.
Yeah.
So I didn't even. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I want to go and shake a lot of people's hands. But I was just like, I can't do this line right now. My anxiety was just through the roof. I had my 3 kids with me. They're all pulling me in all different directions. There's people everywhere. So there's energy everywhere. I'm just literally ah. And then I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going over there. And I just kind of walked around and got out of the area. And and then that's when I bought my, where'd they go? Oh no. Oh, that's where I got my lights. Here we go. My tripwire. I got this thing.
Tripwires.
So yeah, but that was a really cool event, and the Gill House definitely was for me. Definitely icing on the cake for me. That place is. I mean, it's just it's a big mansion. It's definitely haunted. It's got its residential spirits. You're gonna have. I mean, we had some really good experiences there, and it was just.
And they're all lovely spirits. They're not mean. No nasty. They're all beautiful, curious spirits.
They were probably turned into the bats, and they were flying around.
I mean, there are times spirits are known to transform into animals, like similar, like the skinwalker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like where this is going.
No, I don't.
Ooh, did you? Oh, skinwalker and bats.
No.
All right, it's too bad Don's not here because I was gonna say that's a new movie right there.
Ooh, the Batwalker.
Production company can make it.
Batwalker, stop it.
The
Batwalker.
bats.
Yes. Ooh, it's like Mothman meets Skinwalker meets bats. And then you throw in some tarantulas.
Worst nightmare.
They all had blue balls.
Cat balls.
Blue cat balls.
Yeah.
That will weight them off. Wards off these bat things, whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, as long as you have blue cat balls, you're good.
Yeah.
You know,
Was that at the Gill House?
That is the Gill House behind us, isn't it?
Wow, look at that.
Huh.
You guys didn't share all the photos, did you? I mean,
Apparently not.
you know what?
I was there.
Here's a trivia fact for you guys, and I'm not even joking because this is an actual cryptid that supposedly exists. I mean, it's only been ever cited 3 times back in the 80s. It's said to be another bat-like creature out in said to be cited. I think it was near Mount St. Helens down in Washington. It was actually called the Bat Squatch.
Whoa.
Yep.
A bat squatch?
Yep.
Okay.
The Bat Squatch.
I've never heard of that.
It's definitely one of the least known cryptids because again there were only 3 sightings that occurred. That was like back in the it was the late 80s, early 90s they occurred. So but they describe it exactly what you think. They say it's about like 5 to 7 feet tall. It has like a muscular body. It's got huge bat-like wings. Its skin or fur color is said to be like purplish or blue in color, and has like an ape-like kind of face to it with pointed ears. So because of that, they call it Bat Squatch.
Okay.
No.
No? You're not okay with that?
No. Maybe that's just like Mothman that's just over by Mount St. Helens.
Yeah.
Because that kind of
this time you actually could see like its face and stuff, while in the Mothman, all you could usually just see is its red eyes, and that's it.
So how many people would go back to the Gill House?
Oh, I would.
I'm definitely going to be back there. That's for sure.
We will be. We were actually, even though Nikki hasn't been able to show up, we actually have been talking about hoping to come back and actually make that donation that they were talking about. I think it was like what, donate $100 and you get your name added onto it. We were considering about doing that.
Wait, what? I don't remember this. What was it?
One of the tour guides that was with us told us that if you donate $100, in the repairs, to help put more repair into the Gill House, your name will be added to, what was it, a wall or what was it that they said they'd add your name to it?
When they get the railings done on the top, I think they were going to put everybody's names on it.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's really cool.
So
I totally want to do that.
Yeah, we're concerned about doing that as well.
I wish they would go ahead and restore the staircase.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll get to it.
I can't believe that's going to look so beautiful when it's done.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I was there, my first time last year, was it last year? I don't know. Yeah. Either way, the first time I was there, I went up those stairs. I didn't get yelled at. I was told not to.
Yeah, well, they said not to. I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
It's still kind of hard.
Hey, wait, you remember how I was saying like when they were like, they were showing how they were like taking off the paint or whatever, and they were like whatever, and I was like, and I was like, are you sure there wasn't like wallpaper or something like underneath, or like a mural or something like blue? Did you see the other day that they posted that they found blue paint underneath?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember the blue. I don't remember blue paint, but I do. I mean, that's something new. I don't remember hearing the blue paint before. I mean,
yeah,
I know
I was talking about it, and I kept asking them, like, isn't there like, I was like, have you found, and I kept asking her, like, is there like a mural or like something blue under here? And she's like, no. And then like a couple days ago, they found blue paint underneath.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't remember that. I mean, I do remember when they said that they were trying to scrape off a lot of the drywall to get to the wooden parts of the wall, like the original wall.
I don't care for the burgundy color at all.
No.
That reddish color, no.
They're getting rid of that. They're getting rid of
it didn't fit it.
Oh, it said it's going to restore. They're going to restore it back to the original burgundy.
Oh, that's
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it does show a little bit of blue underneath it.
And they really are trying to.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I mean, imagine if they were able to scrape that all off. Imagine how beautiful that would look for the room.
Yeah. What, a scrape wall?
No, the blue.
Yeah,
tint.
and I was asking about that, and they were like, no. There's, we haven't found anything. Like, we don't think so. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then a couple days ago, they were like, oh, we found this, and I was like, I knew it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are scraping all the paint off of that room, and they're bringing back all of the wood.
Right.
It's just so amazing.
Oh, that's good.
Aaron, here's your answer for Bat Squatch.
No, forget that. Never. That's gonna make me never want to go anywhere by, like, I mean,
Where is Bat Squatch found?
You said Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, it was here's what it's quick story. I mean, it's really quick. Bat Squatch is a flying cryptid that was allegedly sighted near Mount St. Helens in the 1980s. It resembles a flying primate similar to the ahul and orang-bati of Southeast Asia. They're more bat-like, giant bat-like creatures.
Wow.
And its name is a portmanteau derived from the words bat and Sasquatch. A witness allegedly took several pictures of the creature. However, these pictures have not yet been analyzed and thus cannot prove the creature's existence. The main description is said to have yellow eyes, a wolf-like muzzle, blue fur, sharp teeth, bird-like feet, and leathery bat-like wings that span up to 50 feet. In addition, Bat Squatch is said to be 9 feet tall and has the ability to affect car engines.
There's a Bat Squatch beer.
It sounds like my worst freaking nightmare.
Says the first sighting.
Automobile.
The first sighting says on April of 1994, Bryan Canfield was driving in Washington's Pierce County when his truck suddenly died. Canfield said a large creature landed in front of him. He said it was human-like, 9 feet tall, with bat-like wings, and also sported a coat of blue fur. Ever since then, it has not been seen, and the skeptics dismiss it as a hoax. And then the most recent one, supposedly, they say it was April 4th, 20 years later, 2014, at Archbishop Hoban High School. Oh, wow. In Akron, Ohio.
Oh, hell no. No.
A second period Spanish class spotted a giant black mass zip by the window of the classroom at incredible speed. The class claims it was about 9 feet tall with a 20 to 30-foot wingspan. Oh, well, I guess it's also been seen in Ohio then.
Nope.
That's a Mothman.
That's what I'm saying.
There's been a Mothman sighting. Actually, I don't live too far from Akron. There's been a Mothman sighting the next town over from me, Cuyahoga Falls. There is a Mothman sighting there.
You guys are right next to the state of West Virginia, so I can see where that's coming from.
I think this is supposed to be a photo of the Bat Squatch.
I didn't see that picture.
I just did a quick Google search. I don't know.
What I'm seeing here, there's only 4 sightings. Now, the second one that occurred after the first one says a possible second sighting was reported in 2009 near Mount Shasta in California. Several hikers witnessed a huge creature with leathery wings spanning 50 feet fly out of a crevice in the mountain. At first, an eyewitness described the creature as having a head similar to a pterodactyl. However, upon reconsideration, the witness claimed it was more akin to a bat or fox. And finally, the third sighting says here on June 2011, Phoenix Terres was in his yard walking his dog. He went to pick up the dog when he saw something in the sky. He said the following: "I saw something flying the sky. It had bat wings, blue fur, and had a face similar to eyes glowing red. It was about 9 feet tall at the least. After I watched it, just flew away." Again, that sounds more accurate to the Mothman than the supposed bat squatch. Oh, that's the beer, isn't it?
This is the bat squatch. Hazy India Pale Ale, man. I can get down with that right there.
That sounds good.
I mean, maybe like just it's like people calling like, you know, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, you know, it's just different areas.
It even says on the can, dedicated to the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that's like the Jersey Devil and the Mothman and the Bat Squatch? You think they're all like the same thing?
I don't know.
See, I think they are.
What if they're just like other interdimensional, you know, creatures? What if it's just, I don't know, something found, you know, they found a doorway into, you know, into that area, and the next thing you know, there's bats.
God, I won't even drink that beer.
I would totally drink that beer.
I would not even drink.
I would drink that beer.
I would too.
I would definitely drink that beer.
It's good.
Yeah, it does.
Tom, would you drink it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's India Pale Ale. It's not, you know, I bet you it's tasty.
It's probably great.
India Pale Ales are usually pretty tasty.
It's probably great. The can's scary. No, I don't even drink it.
Hey, hey, Shawn, you know, another idea for you. You know how I had mentioned earlier, right before we got started, you had you know how you have that feather wings behind you. You should get one with bat wings on it.
Oh, okay.
Was there any questions in the chat room for us?
Oh,
there were earlier.
We probably see a few, and those people are probably going.
Yeah.
We were just like so down this rabbit hole, and we got so
talk about cat balls and
everything but the paranormal. Everything but the paranormal, guys. We scared everyone away.
We talked enough about the paranormal, and we're just showing everybody it's not all take it all too seriously. You got to have fun.
That's
what we try to do with the Paranormal United Network. Although they formed it originally, to, obviously to help people. At the same time, we do have our moments of entertainment to have fun and use our knowledge for certain different, topics.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Well, let's open it up, and anybody wants to ask us any questions.
Let's see how many people are even watching. Is there like anybody watching us?
I think right now I am showing.
It's only one person watching.
One person. Right now.
It's Dustin.
Oh wait, nope. I'm showing 3. There's 3.
Oh,
we have one person on YouTube and 2 people on Facebook. So what's going on, guys?
What's the verdict on the show? Thumbs up?
Do we really screw it this time?
Dustin gave it a thumbs up, he said.
All right.
I give it a thumbs up, guys. It was a lot of fun. It really was. Does anyone have any projects or anything that they want to plug real quick?
Any projects?
Well,
you got Dustin. Dustin's working on Dark Arts Magazine.
Ooh, okay.
He's getting some stories together. Yeah, that'll be to be determined, I guess.
Nice.
For myself, obviously, I know I mentioned earlier that working on the new audiobook series, so hopefully it should be out. It's still going to take a while, but I know I'll have it released before the October Halloween season. I mean, it's a lot tougher than the first series because the stories were a little bit longer, and I had a little bit more of a hard time reading them. So I should hopefully 5 stories are already completed, but I still got a long way to go. And the only other project I have coming up, and this is actually something I was working on last night, so just before tonight, is if you guys don't know, Shawn, obviously, I know you're good friends with Jeremy York. I don't know if you saw the announcement that he is putting the 13th Dimension on hiatus. Did you get a message about that or anything?
I did not know.
Well, that's strange because he was saying that
I saw the post, I saw a post about it. But
yeah, well, I'm surprised because he said for all guests who've been, everyone who's been on the 13th Dimension, they are taking a 2 to 3 month hiatus. They won't be back on until late September. So for the time being, they asked us, well, not only guests but also members of the Pun Network to, just simply shoot maybe a 1 or 2 minute video of what ideas we should give them for season 2. So I just had my video shot last night, and actually I shot 2 videos. Actually, speaking of which, Jeremy just messaged the Pun chat. But yeah, I mean, we're just to basically give our what's the word I'm thinking of? Our ideas and opinions of what should come for season 2 of the 13th Dimension. So he'll be taking a break from that show along with the other show, which I also co-host, which is the Petri Dish. So tomorrow night and this Friday are his last shows that he's doing.
Oh, wow.
I'd recommend more dresses.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just let Jeremy know. And he also, I don't know if you guys saw, he took pictures with my other vest that I had because when we were at the Crown Point jail, it was hot in that place. So I had to take my vest off. And as soon as, while I was gone, he took my vest, used his phone, and hung up the vest like, I got it.
I saw that.
There's a picture, and later that night, he went into one of the cells, and the cell door closed, and he was actually locked in the jail cell. We actually had to pry the door open to get him out, but he was literally an inmate. And at one point, we're like, I got to get a picture of him while he's behind the cell door. So I'm actually working on a poster of a wanted picture of him holding my vest up, and then another picture of him in the cells, like, arrested.
Nice.
It'll be funny as hell. Just wait and see.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. What about you, Erin?
Well, I'm going back to Tampa in 2 days, and I'll be there for the rest of the summer, into September, and then I actually was going to leave like 2 weeks ago, but I stayed for the podcast because I knew I would get distracted if I didn't.
Oh.
And
you stayed in Ohio just for us.
I did, actually, and like, look at the weather. Thanks, guys. And yeah, but I'm thinking I might do some investigating down there when I'm down there. So
nice.
Yeah.
I might know. Let me know. I might know some people where you might be able to get connected to do something.
I know a few people too down in Florida, so I could probably help out with that as well.
All right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, guys. Well, tonight was meant to be, getting friends together, reminiscing on great investigation that we had. And it's also about the location, right? So real quick, I'm just going to kind of end out the show this way, and then I'm just going to go to the closing video. Bryan, do you have anything you want to say before we go ahead and end the show for tonight?
Yeah, no, it's just, like how I was saying with Dawn here, I feel like every one of you could be an individual guest and just pick your brain for hours. And and that is a real treat when you have not only one guest that is so phenomenal, but when you have a huge panel like this and you get to see the glimpses into their experiences, the specific experiences of a location, It really is a blessing, and time is the most valuable asset and currency we have, and I appreciate you spending that time with us.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun on these shows, so I think, I mean, obviously myself, but I think the rest of the crew here could probably enjoy that. I always enjoy coming on this stuff, whether it's the same show or a different show. We always have a lot of fun.
And there's no dress code. No one has to dress up for this.
Good.
Dress code. So you're telling me when I become a guest when I come back, I have to wear a dress?
It's optional, but
I can already picture you guys tell me, "Hey, we'd like to have you back on at some point." Like, okay, great. And then Bryan says, "Oh yeah,
but yeah, there's a package at your front door. You're gonna have to.
Wait a minute, what color is it gonna be? I hope it's
blue. That's a surprise. And just let me know like the dimensions, maybe some curves, and I'll make sure it's just a little too tight. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa!
We can really
in all the right places.
In all the right places.
Bryan, where do you live at?
Right outside of Youngstown, Ohio.
What's the town?
Right outside of Youngstown, so there's like Cleveland and Youngstown. So
yeah, okay. Closer to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so if I'm flying out, it's about a 50-50 whether I do Pittsburgh or Cleveland. Most people here lean towards Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
that's where the idea of Pittsburgh comes from. Then after you die.
Oh yeah, that's definitely written by someone from Ohio.
Yeah, the only thing I don't enjoy about Pittsburgh is just like the driving in the city. It's the same thing with Cleveland. I'm not a city boy, and when you get with the driving in deep Pittsburgh or deep Cleveland, y'all got different roads.
One-way streets,
it's a one-way street or listen. I know my way around a roundabout, but sometimes y'all get pretty crazy over there. So
don't drive in Boston. My God.
Right.
City is like that, though.
Boston is crazy.
Yeah.
It took me an hour to go 2 miles in Boston.
I believe it. Yeah. I'll drive like down to Florida. I mean, I'll drive 18 hours straight, like a freak. But I'm not trying to get those cities.
I hate driving to the city too.
Yeah,
the Pittsburgh has a special place of dislike in my heart.
Special place in hell.
I had a friend that went to school in Pittsburgh, and we were up on the hill, and it was during the winter, and we were going to a friend's house he went to school with, and so it was during the winter, and there's cars parked on both sides of the road, and it's a 2-way street, but only enough room for one car. So I'm going down. I'm like sliding, trying not to hit the cars next to me. And then the car is coming up, and this stupid dude isn't stopping. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I literally had to do this fancy slide maneuver and freaking drift off to a side road. I turned to my friend. I'm like, dude, I'm never coming to this freaking city again. Mm-hmm. First, we had to drive in 3 circles just to go to the beer store. You can't even get a beer at a grocery store. So you got to go and drive 5 circles around the town just to get to one location, which is literally a block away. And then I almost died driving down the hill. I was like, nope.
Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Insert Don here, who's already mastered the Anchorman movies. There's Shawn doing that tight turn. His long hair is flowing slow-mo.
I have a feeling I know who's visiting in Pittsburgh, too.
I can probably do that myself now because I got long hair myself. Well, maybe
that's what we like to see.
Yeah. Is that close
no,
enough?
his hair was like...
Okay. I like it.
My hair was down to here. The longest it got was it was probably about to my chest or so.
No, it was it was titty length. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty long. Not pretty long.
Okay, well, that's close as I can get.
It'll go with your dress.
Yeah, just enough to cover the straps. I mean, we're not going to do a strap. I'm going to give you some support. You see what I'm saying?
Just like out of the movie Psycho.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, basically. Tomato, actually.
Tomato.
Yeah. There's a good picture of the stairwell.
That's a good, right?
So, just a quick little video that the Gill House has on their Facebook page. Guys, go to the Gill House Facebook page, find it. The way you book an investigation is you simply just go and click on send message, and look at that. See, we'll see you tomorrow. Look at that. So that's exactly how you do it, guys, and it's not expensive, and you pay per person. There's a 2-person. I think it was a 2-person minimum, and it's $50 down payment to lock it in, and then it's $50 a person after that. There's no minimum, and no, they didn't really give me a maximum number either. They said it's up to you, even though it's a house. So it's real easy to plan, and if people bail, it doesn't matter. It's going to cost you $50 no matter what.
Right.
That's like when you go and you plan an investigation, and someone bails, you're like, oh man, that means we're gonna have to take their $50 and divide it between the rest of us, and it's our cost just went up. That doesn't happen at the Gill House. You get it from, I believe, 6:00 p.m. till about 2 a.m. and that's it, man. But that's all you need there. It really is, and they need the money. They need the money.
Plus, they're really great people.
Oh, they're awesome. The hosts that we have are so good. And the guy that comes in, they have a guy that comes in that just does the history, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
So, and they're all invested in their town. They're all locals.
Yeah. They're
really cool.
great. The people are great.
Bryan, we need to get you in there. We need to get Our Paranormal in there.
Yeah.
I would do the same with our crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all the stories and the history that you guys have shared really excites me. But the little note that I took was, I mean, when you've got a location that really doesn't care too much about how many people, or even if it falls out, they just care about the quality of people and sharing the history there. That's what's really impactful to me.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. Definitely.
And they're great people. Like, was it Jane and the other lady that was there?
Jane and I can't remember the other person's name, but I know who you're talking about.
You know what? I kind of feel like a jerk because I was gonna ask. I didn't think of it until last night. Like, man, I should have had one of them come on the show. That would have been so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think of it until like last night. I was like, man, it's definitely too late. I can't message them and be like, hey.
Well, actually, one of them, I don't know if you saw Shawn. One of them does have a Facebook page. I think
I'm friends with both of them. Yeah, I'm friends with both of them on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
After that night, I friended them both. I'm just
me too.
I'm just a schmuck, and I didn't think of it until the last minute, so it didn't happen. But we should maybe get one of them on.
We could try it again. Do it again
because it's cool, and these locations people need to know about them so that they can go in and do at least a day tour.
Because there's so much history in there with like Henry Ford and Edison, I think it was, and somebody else that I'm Firestone, and
when you have like the old money, the real well-to-do community, they're all kind of like connected in a way. It's no surprise that they had connections like they did through the families that lived there. So
that's another reason why. Yes. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
No, I said that they also had that other house adjacent to it, which was originally part of that, and they wanted to have them buy that house, and they wanted to know if they were interested in selling that place. So that would be a bonus. Yeah, well, the house was originally 3 blocks long, or at least the property was 3 blocks long.
I think at least that.
Yeah, at least that.
Yeah, if you think about it the way it was, that was probably a big old farmhouse, and they probably had horses and all sorts of cool stuff.
And bat squatches.
I just wanted to also point out too. I mean, try to get more support for the Gill. Like people to really give the Gill House a lot more attention. That's actually another reason why when I messaged the Paranormal United Network, and they actually, I mean, if you guys remember, they actually were looking for something to be broadcasted on Saturday nights, because Saturday nights are supposed to be the Pun Network's investigation night. Oh. So I told them, well, I'm at this place called the Gill House right now, and before I even asked, one of the Pun people, actually from one of the people from Jeremy's team, messaged me, says, you want to go on the net? Do you want to go live on the network and broadcast your investigation there?
Yeah.
I said, sure, no problem. Of course, I didn't know how to do it at first, but it didn't take long, and I was able to broadcast it. And now all of a sudden, everybody in the Pun Network knows about the Gill House.
Yeah, we had a lot of activity because me and Nick went in the library by ourselves, and we had a lot of activity in there with the pendulum and everything else.
Yeah, especially
maybe we'll make a trek out there, and maybe you can meet us halfway, and we can go to the Monroe House first, and then hit the other stuff.
Monroe's another one we still got to go to.
Well, we went to it, but we didn't go in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we have the opportunity to go inside it, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I like that courthouse there, man. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
That whole town is creepy, guys.
Yeah, it is.
The whole entire town is just off. It's completely off.
You guys should also come out to the, like I said earlier, you guys should also come out to the Crown Point Jail in Indiana, because obviously I've been there several times with Jeremy, so Jeremy could probably put something together for us as well. And the jail's pretty big. I mean,
guys, Indiana is blowing up with the paranormal location.
That's what I was like, Tom and I've told Tom this in the past, that all of these Paracons we go to, out of all of them, we always noticed before that Indiana never had any Paracons that ever occurred. It's like Indiana was just the rite of passage, just the passing state for us to get to.
Right.
They had the ghost
the state. It was just a travel through.
Travel through state.
Gill House and the Crown Point Jail.
Yeah.
And the Monroe House. That's the only thing that's in Indiana.
Yeah. Now now we're starting to see Paracons starting to be popping out throughout the state of Indiana. We got the we got the Dead Convention. That's going to be in October. That's going to be in Fort Wayne. Jeremy's actually part of that one. So that's going to be, I believe that's going to be sometime in mid-October. So there was one other con, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, Indiana is now starting to finally.
Did you guys hear about the new sanatorium that just opened up, Bookie?
A new sanatorium?
Yeah, Haunted Indiana State Sanatorium.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't know anything about that.
What? You didn't hear about that?
No, I think that was my Destination Fear.
It's in Rockville, Indiana. It's on your side of Indiana.
Rockville. Oh, you know what? That's where I know very well that area, because when I was younger, my family.
That's on the Illinois side.
Yeah.
Wait, on the Illinois side. Wait, didn't you say it was in Rockville?
Rockville. It's on the Illinois side of Indiana.
Yeah.
So that's on your guys' side. You guys got to check that place out. I'm going to eventually. It's actually being ran by Adam Kimmel, the guy who runs Madison Seminary and
Monroe House.
No,
I thought he did.
No, Monroe House is Ed and Pammy.
It's a one school thing.
Fairfield, yeah.
Fairfield
County Infirmary. Fairfield.
It's like Robin Terry. He's buying a bunch of places too.
Yeah.
I want to go to Vulture City Paracon.
Yeah,
take me to Arizona, please. Please take me to Arizona. I'm in the Vulture City.
Go, please. I want to go this year so bad. I could taste it.
See,
that place is so cool. I had no clue, man. I found that place. Like literally just like on a whim. I was there visiting my grandparents. I'm like, where's a cool place I could go? I was going to go to like one of the big ghost towns, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I found this little thing going across my Google search. I'm like, ooh, what is this place? And next thing I know, like I went there, and then next thing I know, the place is like blowing up. Dude, this place is so cool, and it's definitely very haunted.
See, I need to go to. I still need to buy. Speaking of locations, we still need to get to Madison Seminary, because we have not gone to Madison Seminary.
What? You haven't been to Madison Seminary?
Which actually led me to the question of, Are you guys planning on going to the MadCon? That leads me to the question: are you guys going to go to MadCon, which I know is on September 18th?
September 18th. You know what? We were supposed to get a table, and I slacked, and they sold out. But
there's always a table.
Dark Alley Paranormal, I'm sure, got a table. September 18th. September 18th. I have nothing on my calendar for September 18th. I just said it on my podcast. I'm not doing anything, so I guess I'm going.
Is that the one in Louisville?
I asked.
Nick,
What's that, Tom?
Is that the one in Louisville?
No, that's out in Madison, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Although, unfortunately, it's also the same weekend as the Mothman Festival in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Oh. So if we want to go to a particular con, obviously, we can only choose one.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, MadCon is always a good time. It's always just like it's like friends. It's like a big party, man. Yeah. Everybody's just like hanging out. Everyone gets along with everybody. It's just freaking awesome, man. It's like if the Grateful Dead were to have a Paracon.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but without the acid and without the weed. Minus the acid and weed. There might be some people smoking weed somewhere, but they're not doing it at the con openly. So, but still, if it's like just like a big like paranormal love thing, I don't like that come out right either.
Well,
it's like
now,
you guys know what I'm trying to say.
Right now is the best time for me to go anywhere because I only have to work one job, but come August I have to work two jobs, so that's going to make it even more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking. You guys probably saw that I made a poster a few weeks ago about different Paracons. Now, obviously, it's not all completed because now there's a few other Paracons that are going to be coming up. Of course, the majority of them are in the summer. I mean, the next one we have that's coming up, at least for us, is and it's actually a local one. It's the Flashback Weekend, which is in Chicago, which is going to be at the end of July and early August. So more of a horror film con than an actual Paracon. But
that's when we're invited down to Alton.
Yeah, well,
Alton, that's the place where I want to go.
Alton, yeah.
Shauna invited us down to do an investigation. What the hell did she call it?
It was at a mortuary.
It was a mortuary. Ooh. In one of the towns. It's not too far from Alton. It's about an hour drive from Alton. So it's like a 3.5 hour drive for us. And, well, of course, it'll be a lot longer for you guys.
Actually, I was going to say, it's a lot longer than that.
What? To go to Alton?
Well, no, I mean, to go from our area, like Chicago, down to Alton and this other town, I mean, that's almost like a 7 hour, because we're literally going to be down in southern Illinois.
No. I meant if we went down for the investigation, if we hit Alton afterwards, and then we got the inn because, we could go into Mineral Springs Mall because we know the tenants there, and maybe we could squeeze in a little private walk through the hotel.
Nice.
Because we know our way around the hotel now.
Be forewarned, however, if you guys want to check this place out, definitely wear shorts because there is no AC in this place.
Oh yeah.
That's
how most of these places are, man. Most places you go to, they're either really hot or really cold, no in between. So.
I'd rather take it cold.
Best time to go to Alton is when it's flooded, and then when there's a tornado touching down about a mile from the place. That's when we all that activity caused a stir in the hotel, and that's when we saw the apparition.
I believe it. That the static electricity from the storm and everything, and the water, there's a lot of energy that comes with those. So, guys,
had one of its floods, and the downtown area was completely
underwater.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a hill. I mean, the bottom part of the downtown area by the silo where it says Alton, that was all underwater when we were there.
Yeah, because Alton is kind of more on a hilltop than like actually on flat ground. So
Mineral Springs Hotel is up on the top, which is kind of strange because when they talk about digging a well to pull in spring water, you would think that the bottom part of Alton, which is a lot lower, would have been flooded by the spring. So I don't understand how they could get spring water from Mineral Springs back in the olden days, and unless you go down a lot further into Mineral Springs Hotel than what it feels like when you're walking down the stairs. Yeah, because
I want to go there though.
They got the well in the basement, and it's completely covered over. But I mean, originally they dug the well and found spring water. Now I'm thinking of the altitude of the hotel compared to the part where it was all flooded when we were there. You would think they would have had to dig pretty darn deep into that well to hit spring water. Otherwise, the bottom part would be flooding the town.
It's true.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about.
It's a place that doesn't disappoint. It really doesn't.
No, because it's so.
And I would just go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
No, it's massive, and there's just hallways of a bunch of offset rooms, and you kind of walk in a big L shape, and then you go back, and there's another L shape, which is a refurbished part of the thing where they have apartments now at the Mineral Springs Hotel. Yeah.
I mean, it's not even just the Mineral Springs that you should also check. I mean, because you have to remember, Alton is said to be one of the most haunted small towns in America. So if Mineral Springs is awesome, I would highly also recommend check out some of the other locations like the Alton Prison or Nick Pike Mansion or one of there was a church, I can't remember what it was called, but and then also most importantly, one of the cemeteries where it's the final resting place of the tallest human on record, which was Robert Wadlow.
Oh, Robert, we've been there. We did an EVP session right over his grave.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What was kind of bizarre when we went to his grave was, when he died, he was 8'11", almost 9 feet tall. It was due to the fact that he had giantism, and sad. Unfortunately, though, especially back then, because he was born back in 1918, he only lived till 1940. So he was a young guy. He was only 22 years old when he died. So it wasn't the giantism that actually affected him. It was a blister he had in his foot that got cut and it got infected. So as a result, he died. And when they went to bury him, I'm sure we're all familiar when it comes to funerals, it's usually carried by 6 pallbearers to carry a coffin. For Robert Wadlow, it took 12, so double the amount of pallbearers.
Wow.
And you go to his grave today, and
it doesn't match. It doesn't match.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to stand in front of his grave. You can actually feel the bump in the soil where his coffin is, which showed how big he really was. So we did a. Sorry, Shawn. What?
You know what else is really cool? Haunted schools. You know what haunted school is really cool? The haunted Middle Point School. You know what's really cool about the haunted Middle Point School? We're having the ghost hunt for Bryan there, guys. We are raising money for the Felicia family. August 7th, 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. We're going to have an opportunity for you to have a solo run during this public hunt. Most public hunts don't let you do that, but we're going to let you do a solo hunt for just $10, and then for $10 more you get to use the ghost helmet, so you get to have a really cool experience. Dan Class is going to be there. We have psychic medium coming oh my goodness, she's like my good friend. Why can't I think of her name? I hate my brain sometimes.
Denise, because I know
Linda Dix. Linda Dix is coming, and she is going to be auctioning off a reading so she can connect with a past loved one for you. We have a long gone doll we're going to be auctioning off. We're going to have all sorts of really cool gifts. We have a public ghost hunt. I think it's a public ghost hunt at Madison Seminary that we have tickets to auction off, and then a flashlight tour at FCI at Fairfield. And so much cool stuff going on, guys. So many opportunities to raise money for the Felicias. Bryan Felicia is fighting cancer. At this time where we're starting this, he's going to be starting his second round of chemo. And he's probably going to be working. He worked through his first round. He's probably going to be working through his second round. So they're going to need our help, guys. And they have a lot of crazy medical bills. And you can see they have a big, happy family. So they need our help. So guys, please make sure to get your tickets. There aren't many left. They are selling out. So make sure to get your tickets at ghosthuntforbrian.eventb.com, guys. And here is the doll that we are going to be auctioning off. And Brian's wife actually wrote a poem about him. His name is Roddy Scotty. She says, a long gone doll like no other, wound up dead when he got shot in the head. When he scared the life out of his mother, she silently wept over the lock of hair she kept, hoping one day she'd soon reunite. So he can sit on your shelf or anywhere else. Just don't be surprised if one day you find he is double jointed. Ooh. That's creepy, guys. And with that, guys, everyone, thank you so much for coming on. It was seriously was a blast. We went over longer than we have in a very, very long time. That just shows how much fun tonight's show was. So thank you, Tom. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Don, for coming on. Brian, thank you, brother.
I appreciate all you very much.
Yeah.
Everyone, I hope that we helped you guys over the hump and help you slide into the weekend. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy. Everyone, have a great weekend.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
This paranormal adventure that we're all on, it connects us. This is our paranormal community. This is Our Paranormal Podcast with your host, Shawn Gilmore.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 10 years.
He was featured on the TV show Paranormal Survivor that airs on Travel Channel.
His passion is creating para-unity.
With your host, Bryan Mersol.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 7 years.
He leads his own paranormal team.
He wants to help people start their paranormal adventure or grow their existing one. This is our paranormal adventure. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast.
It's about supporting. It's about making para-unity a real thing, because we all need to support each other within our community. And that's what the show has always been about.